Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Cast with Q. Sponsored by a dissatisfaction with the system. On tonight's program, we got several special guests, including Dr. Ben, Leon Thunderbird, Kami Mark, and Peter Gilmore. We got a real special show for you tonight, folks, with the release of Phenomenon Comic Magazine, written by Patrick Quinlan. So without further ado, may I introduce to you, Mr. Q.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cast with Q. It's going to be a great show tonight. I'd like to introduce my guests here. First, we have Kami Mark. Welcome, Kami Mark. How are you today?
Hello, salam alaikum, bitches. It's me, your man, Kami Mark, your friendly neighborhood communist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
No worry, no bother.
Let me introduce the rest of the guests we have here. We've got
Please do.
Neon
I'm excited to find out
Thunderbird.
who else we got.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, Kami Mark? What's up, Patrick? How you doing, Patty Q?
Good. How are you, Neon?
Hey, hail chat. What's
Hail
up,
the
you
chat.
guys? Having a beer already? Let's get it started.
Yes, sir. Me too. I'm in celebration mode here.
All
It's
right.
been like a scramble. to get
Yeah,
everything
dude,
going.
you're bringing your comic out today.
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
exciting. Very exciting. Very scary. Very exciting. Next, we have, ladies and gentlemen, the king of CG horror, Peter Gilmore. What's up, Peter? How you doing?
Oh, good. Oh, good. Can you hear me okay? Everything working? Yeah.
Yes.
Been having problems, microphone problems. Buy a new computer and all the equipment you've got already is just shit. So now I've got to replace it all. Yeah.
You gotta figure all that shit out again.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
How you doing, Peter?
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Good, brother.
Yeah. All
Sit, Joe.
hopped up on caffeine and ready to go.
Very
nice.
nice.
Yeah, I'm in then.
I'm
We
going.
also
the
got
opposite
Dr.
way.
Ben. He's going to be on in just a second here. So we'll have him on in just a second. But let's go. I'm going to go down the line here and ask you guys what's going on in your life. Kami Mark, how are you? What's new?
Oh, I'm good. Not too bad. The biggest news for me is I lost 14 YouTube subscribers this week. It's pretty sweet.
Wait, I want to hear the story of how that happened.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Oh, I did an incredibly controversial Ed Piscor video in it, some people didn't like very much.
Them's the ropes. Call comes with the territory.
But I offered a different opinion from the prevailing one, naturally
Mm-hmm.
that rubbed people the wrong way.
Let me
It's
get
funny
here.
because, you make a video about Eric July or someone like that, and, you gain a load of his detractors or matractors or whatever, and then they tune in next week to find me defending something that they hate or attacking something that they love, because I just say what I want,
Just being upfront.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I want to introduce Dr. Ben. Hello, Dr. Ben. How are you?
Excellent, gentlemen.
Good. Thanks for joining
Ben,
us.
how you
man.
doing?
Thank you.
Evening, sir.
What's up,
that
man?
was fantastic.
As always.
But let's go back to Kami Mark here real quick. I actually want to share his campaign here. Where are we?
I actually want to share his dick pics.
Hell yeah.
Bitch, you didn't know I had them.
Let's
but I
get
did.
it streamed.
Oh yeah, 9 days left on this. I actually forgot, that we
Only
was
9
even
days?
doing this.
Mark completely forgot he was making a comic.
Because it's already done. All the hard,
Sure.
I'm actually in this time. I'm doing the edits on Krishna Kid.
Mhm.
A bunch of stuff happened. So Krishna Kid issue 1 was supposed to be 30 pages, and it's now 60 pages. What that means is that now it's unfeasible to do it saddle stitched, which was my original plan. Now it needs to be perfect bound, which meant that every single page has to be like readjusted to counter that.
Mm-hmm.
Make that even worse, in issue 1, there are at least 3, potentially 4 double page spreads, like which are even worse to like work out and do the math on. Like doing a lot of work on that in the meantime. And this anniversary edition we only released it because it was the 4-year anniversary on the 29th of February. Like so
Still, it's awesome, and we've got this cover here by Peter Gilmore here.
By some random fucko.
some random guy.
no, we got a cover by the highest grossing UK indie comic book artist in the world.
Yeah,
Respect where respect is due.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, fuck Joe Glass. He's not an artist anyway, but fuck him. No, I don't mean it like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, fuck him, but not in the fun way either.
But the
Taste the
truth comes
rainbow.
out.
Taste the motherfucking rainbow.
Comes out.
This is
But yes,
awesome.
this book is very funny, like and it's made entirely out of real photographs, like where I've just put captions and stitched them together into a new story. Obviously, I don't know how familiar you are with history, but the Korean War ended in a draw, like whereas in my version, the North Koreans like absolutely win, and it's the story of how that happens, told from the perspective of a potentially maybe magic Kim Il Sung, like
Magic.
unreliable narrator, like oh look, there's me as well. Like you say, that's when I was in the
Yeah.
Korean War.
Right? I remember that.
Here's the question: is does he poop?
No, of course not.
Okay.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, I
Like, you better retract those comments.
Hey Pat, that live, where it says the live thing, does that show up on the screen for everyone else to see? Because your face is blocked for me. Is that normal?
No,
Or-
it doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay.
Okay, good. I also just did a stupid thing though, where I accidentally separated this tab from all of my other tabs, so now it's in a whole new window, and I'm too stupid to figure out how to fix that.
Excellent.
Just,
Anyway.
just drag the tab back onto the original thing.
Can I do
It'll-
that?
Yes, you can.
And did you learn StreamYards from Johnny Scab? You know
Yeah,
that
pretty
you
much.
Did you know that you can like talk to the guests before we go live? Like that is a thing. Like
No, I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that.
exactly the same way that you just added everyone in it. Like
Oh, really? It's the same way. They
Yeah,
just
yeah,
hear
yeah.
us? I'm so
Yeah.
dumb. I'm sorry, guys.
And you don't all have to vanish as soon as it finishes. You can talk afterwards too.
That's true. I figured that out with Dr. Ben the other day. I didn't know you could do that, and he like walked me through it. I'm so stupid
can-
when it comes to technology.
But don't forget to end the stream before you do that. Otherwise, you could be in a world of trouble.
Yeah. I've made that mistake of exiting the studio rather than ending the stream.
Yes,
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
the stream just carries on without you. Don't make that
Yes.
mistake.
Yeah.
You keep commenting. All right. Well, let's move on down the line here. Neon Thunderbird, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on. This is a good panel. Hail the chat. I'm fucking glad to be here. Can we say F words and things like that? Is
Oh
that
yeah,
cool?
anything you
Oh,
want to say, you can
all
say. I'm all about freedom of speech, and that's what I
Okay.
think Comicsgate's all about. So.
But you can't say Willie.
You can't say Willie.
No, you can't say rogering. If you say you're rogering people, that's just not acceptable.
Is that bad? Okay.
Yeah, it's disgusting British slang.
Is that a Brit thing? Okay, got you.
Roger with the Roger.
What about Roger Waters? Can you Roger Waters someone?
You can do that. That's
Okay.
fine.
It gets very wet.
That's not as bad.
Yeah.
What if you're rogering the water? You just
Well,
go into the waters.
But for real, thanks for having me on, man. I'm up for whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm down for it.
yeah, no doubt. Thanks for coming on, man. I watch your streams, and there you have a lot of really awesome things that I don't hear other people saying. That I like. I'm like, thank God he's saying those things.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
But real quick here, I'm showing the. So this is his website here. And this is just one of the tabs where you can look at a lot. There's so much on this website here. But this is where all the music is located, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
You
that's the
can
music
purchase
page.
it all right here.
Sure.
And later in the show, we're gonna show some of your music videos. So we'll show the folks that. But how's your week been, Neon? What's new?
Things have been busy. I'm trying to I just kind of established. You might have seen my tweet earlier, or whatever they call it, a post now. Is it an X post?
I'll still call it a tweet.
Okay. Well, anyway, I just established a schedule for all my live stream shows.
Mhm.
So like Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, I'm going to be doing it at 7:00 Pacific Standard Time. Like pretty much try to do that every week, and then see how it goes. See if I can do it. But like just trying to establish that, and then working on a new album. So I'm working on, like, I've kind of been a singer-songwriter, anything from kind of softer side, like yacht rock kind of stuff, to rock and roll. But this album, I want it to be like more edgy than anything I've done before. So I'm kind of going backwards in the artist journey. Usually they start edgy and then get soft. And I kind of started soft, and I'm kind of getting more edgy and full of piss and vinegar as I get older. You know what I mean? So I'm doing like a riff rock, mean and lean, like kind of AC/DC meets singer-songwriter album that I'm working on right now. And just doing, focusing on social media, trying to grow that, but not too fast, because fast growth can be kind of fucking weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to attract the wrong cats and stuff. So like, I want a real audience, grow it.
We are the wrong cats. Like that's who we are. Like,
No,
yeah.
but yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, and with your streams and everything, you're really like, I know I'm not trying to say this in a harsh way. There's a lot of people who wouldn't like some of the things they would hear.
Yeah.
But that's good, because like those things are true, and whether or not you like it, they're
Well, I'm of the mind that I would love for things to be really, really kind and benevolent. I would love for people to be a lot nicer. I would love for the world to be in a situation that was I really looked forward to the future. I want all those things just like other people do. It's just that I'm not willing to ignore what is actual reality and see what it is for what it is, as Eric July would say. And then to see what it actually is, and then go, look, I want all the nice things and fucking unicorns and rainbows and pixie dust, just like all you guys do. But I just want to also call out reality.
They just think it can happen. Go ahead.
Wait,
No.
Rainbow,
And they don't.
Go ahead,
a
guys.
lot of times,
pixie
a lot of
dust and
times people are
unicorns
divorced
aren't
from
real.
like, what?
You know what I mean, though.
Well, they might have been real, Peter. That's actually a conversation I wanted to have with you guys later.
Well,
it's the
to be
private
fair,
side.
unicorns are in the Bible.
Really?
Wait, are they in the Bible? I didn't know that.
Mhm,
Look at
mhm.
you got to prove this for me. Pull it up and I'll share it.
Okay, let's start weird right off the bat. All right. So
I was referencing the Sumerian cuneiform and how they pretty blatantly like specify in that translation of it that not only did they edit like the regular humans who existed on the planet before them to be better, but then they also edited like people and animals together. That's in the old the cuneiform tablets.
And cuneiform sounds a lot like unicorn, so there's
Doesn't it?
But I mean, let's just say, for instance, let's get weird right off the bat. If there was an ancient race of aliens or engineers, whatever, and they had cracked the code of DNA, okay, thousands of years ago, let's say, or who knows if there's time travel or interdimensional travel or whatever. But if somehow the code was cracked and this race of beings had that code, why couldn't they do what people are doing now and mixing like jellyfish and cats and making all these weird creatures that are doing with like the CRISPR machine and creating, you know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't they make mythical creatures that were half this and half that? You know what I'm talking about? So like, your griffins and your half horse, half man, and your minotaurs and your all that kind of stuff. Like, why couldn't that be possible if in fact thousands of years ago, some race had cracked this code and then started messing with it, just for their own
Exactly.
whatever,
Exactly. And if you're cracking that code and you're messing with it to begin with, you kind of already think that you're like God. So why wouldn't you just do things That's exactly what you'd want to do. You'd make all this crazy shit to like prove yourself almost.
Well, doesn't it seem like the people in charge of determining whether things are ethical or not, like cloning, and doesn't it seem like those people are just like, let's just fire up CERN and just see what happens. I know it could like literally end our reality, but let's just take that fucking chance just because we can. It seems like they're like that. They're very, very psychotic.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's that progressive mentality where it's like progress is necessary at any cost.
At any cost.
That means the dead bodies of hundreds of people as they starve to death because you've created like robots instantly and they've taken up all those jobs.
Right.
So be it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, like packing people onto, freight trains and then shipping them up to Siberia.
Right. But I want to create a series of T-shirts. You just said "so be it," and I'm like, I just thought of creating a T-shirt called the "So Be It Union."
So be it is.
The "So Be It Union." Anyone? Tough crowd. Tough crowd.
I don't.
By the way, unicorns mentioned 3 times in the Bible. 3 times.
Read it off.
Can you read one of them?
So we've got Job 39:9-12. That the unicorn whose strength is great is useless for agricultural work, refusing to serve man or harrow plow the valley.
Does it say the word unicorn?
Yes.
Terribly fascinating.
Wow, I never.
In Psalm 29:6, it describes unicorns as skipping like calves, traveling like bullocks, and bleeding when they die.
Wow.
Isaiah 34:7, I think it is. The presence of a very strong horn on this powerful, independent-minded creature is intended to blah blah. Yeah, whatever.
When you talk about unicorns bleeding as they die, that's sad, but it's entering EVS territory. Who knew EVS was biblical and prophetic? Because his new book is Rainbow the Brute, and he has like a dying unicorns on the front cover.
To be honest, EVS is the only reason I know that unicorns are in the Bible, because he had a huge discussion with Mike Smiller.
Are you serious?
About it. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is bringing full circle. The synchro mysticism already, guys.
And they got ghosts too, ain't it?
Then again, Mike also believes that there's dinosaurs alive in China, so
it's possible.
Or something like that.
But wouldn't it just be like those Chinese commies to not tell everybody about dinosaurs? Wouldn't it be like them? I'm just saying.
They block a lot of our satellites.
I mean, look, if they're commies, then they're our dinosaurs.
I've got numbers.
Right, Mark?
Yeah.
You notice you never hear about Free Tibet anymore. That was like a thing a while back, but you never hear that anymore. Is Tibet still not free? Are they still under the rule of China? Why do you never hear this anymore?
So the answer to that is that when Richard Nixon went to China in the 70s and normalized relations with China, like the CIA stopped funding the Tibetan people and the Dalai Lama, and then without that state-sponsored funding from the U.S. government, interest in Tibet died.
That's an interesting. I do not know that lore, but I do not doubt what you just said.
The Dalai Lama was on the CIA payroll, that's a fact. You can go and check it out.
Did you see him kissing that boy on the lips not too long ago? Let's not go there. Let's not go that deep, but that was kind of weird.
Look,
we did a whole video about that.
Let me put it like this. If you have anything negative to say about people in authority, I don't really care at all. In fact, I encourage it. If people are in authority, then I personally feel like they deserve to be judged a little bit more harshly than other people.
Yes. Agreed. Patty, they need to be held up to a different standard because they have a lot of people's lives in their hands. Patty Q.
Yeah.
And they must never forget. They must never forget that we've always got the guillotine for if they.
We've got the numbers. We've got the numbers. Patty Q, I wanted to say 2 nice things just to kick off the stream in a nice way.
Well, thanks.
3 nice things. Let's just first of all, cheers, guys. If you have a drink, cheers.
Cheers. Na zdrowie. Bink.
I'll wait. Cheers. Okay, cool.
You got it?
Dr. Ben. Yeah. All right. And then secondly, I liked your voice. I listened to you sing, and I liked your vocals. You have a real Justin Timberlake kind of thing meets jazz kind of vibe. I like your groovy vocals, man. And I checked out your video. And the other thing is, I really like the comic you're working on, and that guy with the orange head and kind of a green costume. It kind of reminds me
Yes.
of like a pumpkin, but in a really cool way, like a jack o'
Yes.
lantern. I really like that
Mhm.
character. It's very memorable and fucking great job,
Perfect.
dude.
Thank you very much. I'm
Yep.
really, really proud of. That's the boss. Let me see if I can get a picture up of the boss. Anyway, it's funny you say that because when I was 12 years old, I made a character named
Exactly.
Pumpkin Man,
Oh wow.
and
Nice.
so it was like he was my comic book character, and it was funny because this is how I like learned how to be original. I made Pumpkin Man, and I was like 10 years old, and I was at the dinner table with my parents, and they said, "Okay, so what's Pumpkin Man's origin?" And I was like, "The hobgoblin threw a pumpkin bomb at him, and it fell on his head, and now he's Pumpkin Man." And they're like, "No, no, no, you can't do that." And I was like, "What? Why not?" I was like really disappointed, and they were like, "You can't do that because it's not original. You got to make up something yourself." And that like instilled in me like I have to be as original as possible with everything that I do, as possible. Obviously you take inspiration from all kinds of people, but
That is kind of
Pumpkin
weird
Man,
though that like within 5 minutes of us doing the show, synchromysticism struck 2 times. One with the thing about EVS and the unicorn, and 2 with the thing about I said it looked like a pumpkin head, and then you said I drew that as a kid. That's twice now that synchromysticism just went boink.
maybe because the second one is more like this character is like I originally called him Pumpkin Man for a long time,
Oh,
and I didn't want to call him that in the book because it doesn't like. There's some people who will eventually end up calling him the Pumpkin Man because they don't understand. Because in Russia they don't have Halloween,
yeah.
so they don't understand the jack-o'-lantern thing. So to them, he just looks like a pumpkin dude. But yeah, he's called the boss in the comic because it's a little better of a name, I would say. But he was originally called Pumpkin Man. So
That's
his
cool.
design is I made that design. All of the characters in the book, I designed I designed 85 to 90% of what they look like.
Cool.
And my artist would help me tweak certain things. But the idea was to get the silhouette. If you guys know what, like when you're looking at superheroes, if you see like a silhouette of a person, you instantly know who it is. That's the goal I was going for with each of the characters.
And consider yourself lucky too that you got an artist to like jump on board with you in the ground floor, because that that's so much of the work and everything, and someone like believing in your script or believing in your characters enough to actually put that much time and effort into it, like that's actually really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And Tomas has been really, really great to work with. Tomas Kavash is the artist of the book.
Yeah.
And he has been super, super great to work with. His like translating what I'm thinking in my brain and what I've written to him into art, he does it so well.
Yeah.
And
like I said, right away, I was like, memorable character. I like this right away.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, let's keep going down the line here. Dr. Ben, I know you got here after Peter Gilmore, but sorry, Peter, you're going to have to wait.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We saved the best for last. That's what we're doing, Peter.
That's right. That's right.
So, Dr. Ben, how has your week been? What's going on, man?
It's going pretty good. Like, what is this? Saturday? Today's Saturday? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Well, let's see. So I got accepted to the Ripperologist magazine, right? It is a magazine out of, I would assume it's in England. I can't quite remember. But it's publishes twice a year, and it's all sort of like academic, literary, like true crime stuff about the notorious Whitechapel murders from 1888 and the surrounding. It covers all the stuff back then. It's a classy thing. It's not like it's not like a gore magazine. I mean, I like gore magazines too. I've definitely not. It's odd. Not quite sure how to say that. But it's like a more like a scholarly. Yeah, it's more like a scholarly. They have like people at colleges and things like that. So like me being a doctor, I figured that's good. So that was. Where did I even put? So that was that. That's going to be in there.
Yeah, you showed.
Yeah,
you showed me that on the other stream we were on. Very nice.
I'll be doing those, I guess, going forward too, but like bigger. Like they only have like half a page left because it's like just about to be released.
Mhm.
So
When you first said ripperologist, I thought it was some new term for Reaperverse detractors that I wasn't.
Yes.
I think, see, I think that's
No.
what I should like try to like work in like some Easter eggs about
Yeah.
like.
Jack
I mean,
the
surely,
Ripperverse.
surely Documan would be the ripperologist.
Yes, yes.
Investigate Avery Silberman's great grandfather or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like
Document
was
would
a-
be
I got ya.
the what do you call that? The when it's the undependable narrator. What's that called? The
Unreliable.
unreliable
Yeah.
narrator.
Unreliable,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Document would be the unreliable narrator in the Jack the Ripperverse.
so.
Jack the Ripperverse.
Yes.
So I got that, and then the Swamp Thing article about on Fandom Pulse went up today as well about what is it? Why DC hasn't published the Swamp Thing 88 from back in like it was like 1989 or whatever. It was Swamp Thing meets Jesus, and like they didn't publish it. They're like,
Holy crap! Did they really do that?
Wow.
yeah,
That's
it's all a true story. It's it was like Rick
It's a
Veitch.
true
Is it written by
story.
the Saska sisters?
No, well, it's. I think that's what they're going to do with it now. They're going to have the Saska sisters and Tom King, I believe, because you know he's got.
Yes, of course, Tom King.
You know my feelings on Tom King. I believe they're going to have them do a reinterpretation.
Oh my god.
So this is the first time
You
we
know-
met Dr. Ben. You're an artist then? You're an artist? You're an illustrator?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like a cartoonist. I guess what I call myself a
Okay.
cartoonist,
Right.
journalist, freelance journalist. I've got a doctor of divinity. So
Are you
like
really?
so I can bless fleets. If you have a fleet of ships, you need
Oh, shit.
blessed for good luck or whatever.
Are you
I
still
can do
allowed
that
to break the champagne over the bow though?
for a price? For a
Yeah.
price. Exorcisms, weddings, all of the above. So
Nice, dude.
Kami Mark wants to know if you can bless his guillotine.
definitely. Like I think that might be a freebie. Actually, that would be.
Anyone performing blessing gets the guillotine, I'm afraid. Like it was all an elaborate trap, like to lawyer.
So it's just around the corner. Where is it?
All right, Peter Gilmore, the CG King of Horror. How you doing, man? What's new?
Good. All good. What's new? So this week has been. I mean, obviously, I've been working on drawing books as you do, and then because I do such ridiculously long hours, every now and then my body just says no more. No more, you're going to sleep. So I've just had my probably quarterly hibernation. I'd literally slept for 2 days pretty much.
That feels good though. That's always good.
Yeah, I'm fired up again now.
Yeah.
So yeah, all prepared to be awake for the next week.
You look like
Very
one of those guys that like shuts the curtains, closes the windows, battens down the hatches, and then just like hibernates until you're done with a page or something like that.
Yeah, kind of, apart from being interrupted by dogs. Dogs
Yeah.
are the bane of my life.
You love them.
No, you shouldn't talk about women like that, Peter. That's not very nice.
It's one of them's got a really annoying habit of just sneaking up and licking your elbow. Nothing else. I'll just be drawing and then just licking of the elbow starts. And then the other one's a giant mastiff and thinks it's a lapdog and tries to just climb on top of everything.
Watch
Yeah.
out. There's going to be a whole community, like a horde of people accusing you of bestiality now. Coming from the FNT.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
I've
That's right.
had worse.
Confirmed. Peter Gilmore likes
Yeah,
dogs.
confirmed.
I've had much worse said about me. Don't worry about it. I'm used to it by now. Used to it.
Did
now.
they
Been
call
doing
you a
this
fan
while.
of Lady Gaga? Oh my god, the horror.
Oh my god. No, never been accused of that. Never been accused of that.
That's good.
Good.
Speaking of Lady Gaga, what do you think of that Joker trailer?
I personally really, 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 really liked the first movie, and it's because it was different. And I went into it thinking like there should not exist. A Joker movie shouldn't exist. That's what I went in thinking. I was like, this is going to be fucking awful. This doesn't need to exist. Like a great many deal of other things, well,
Like
pretty
it-
much all of Marvel Phase 4. Like that, none of those characters were of any interest to any human ever until 4 years ago, and then it was just weird, degenerate humans. But like I went into the Joker and I saw it and I was like, holy shit, like I really liked this. And it's still, when I first watched it, I was like, so they gave him an origin that was like a hard and fast, this is the Joker's hard and fast origin. I don't like that because I like the idea of him, like you don't know how he became the Joker. But then I rewatched it and I was like, no, wait, like half of this is just him thinking that this is like, so you don't even know by the end of the movie what is real and what's not. And that's why and that scene where he says, you get what you fucking deserve is one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema, I would say. I just like, I really felt that scene.
Yeah, I mean the new one. I've seen a lot of people bitching about it because musical. I don't think they're quite grasping that that's all like a delusion. Or at least I hope it is, and it's not just a full-on musical.
Right.
Because that'll be weird. But yeah, that's all delusion. I guarantee between all those big set pieces where they're dancing and there's all the lighting and all the stuff going on, guarantee it's gonna flick to just them two stood in a padded cell shuffling around like
right.
You know.
It's going to be as much a musical as Aladdin is a musical. Like, you know,
What, the Disney one?
Yeah.
like where it'll have song breaks. But you know, I had this debate with Aiden before about the difference between like for it to be a full musical, like everything has to be music. Like Jesus Christ Superstar has no dialogue, like it all takes place in the music, and it like and then your Disney musical, they talk and build up to a song. Like it's gonna be like that.
There's only one musical that I went to a couple of times, like live, and that I went to a few. I maybe gone to like 10 in my life, but like the only one that sticks out to me as being holy shit good was Les Miserables. You know, as far as like a musical that I liked, I was like, that is a good fucking piece of artwork right there. You know what I mean? Like the music is really genuinely good, and the it's really moving, like the whole story, and so that's the only one I was like, wow. But this makes sense because it's a clown, so it's like that trickster archetype. And you know, of course, it's going to be over the top and like three-ring circus and like, let me present to you the thing, you know, and then to start singing and breaking in this, like that makes sense to the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Lady Gaga, but that's my only downside. You know, that's just my personal subjective thing.
Yeah,
like, the idea of the musical makes sense for the trickster character.
What I need to see for this movie, though, is like at the very end of the last movie, he really becomes Joker, and like remember he shoots him, and then he stands up and he kind of like dances for a bit, and then like pretends to shoot him again, but there's no bullets left, so he just tosses the gun on the table. That's the most Joker thing that I've ever seen done in a movie ever. Like that was the most like realistic. That's the joke. What the Joker is, and I really want to see a lot more of that. Just like straight up him murdering people and then acting all funny. Like I think that'd be really, really cool. But as for musicals, you should check out The Phantom of the Opera, because when I was but a wee child back in high school, I went to the all girls school because I went to an all boys high school. So I went to the all girls school and I played in their musicals.
And you snuck in and stayed the night.
Yes,
you did. You found a way. I know you did.
Yeah, when they closed that high school and turned the lights off, I was like, wait a minute, wait, who is there? And I was stuck in there all night. It was really awkward.
What a shame.
Anyway,
Feel your way.
But like Phantom of the Opera is an amazing musical. You should check that out.
All right, I'll check it out. I never did check that out, to be honest with you. So.
There's the one song, the one right after you'll know what it is because the fandom creeps out from listening to them talk. And when that happens and he starts singing, that's one of the things. There's a few things that I can view or witness as a person that'll just make me cry, and that's one of those things. It's an amazing musical. But we have been not showing. I want to show this here because we've been talking.
We're at
to
38 minutes already, and we haven't even seen your campaign yet.
Well, we're not going to see my campaign quite yet because we still got to show Super Dead issue 2.
Not with an attitude like that.
Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is drawn by who? What's the name of the artist who draws this book?
Bob Kane.
Rob Hunter? No, Bob. No. No. It's Oh, that's right. It's Peter Gilmore. Excellent.
Salvador Dali.
Sorry, right?
Famous Nazi.
Check this out, folks.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at
yeah.
this stuff. How beautiful is this?
It's fun stuff. It's yeah. We can't really show any more of it after these pages because it just gets too spoilery, and some of it's pretty fucking gruesome.
Fair. Do they get on your case for showing gruesome things? On
Indiegogo can, yeah, they can do. They can get funny. They get funny about gore, and they get funny about sexy ladies.
Shit.
And
Look at
hate
this shit.
symbols.
Oh my
Look, it's
god.
just disgusting.
To be fair,
Obscene.
even when we were running the mailing list, we were pre-shadow banned on there anyway, so we used to it by now.
Man, what the fuck, dude? It's like,
Hey,
can we just stop with the shadow banning and can people?
I had this campaign for Not Daredevil, right? One of my books. And on the cover, Not Daredevil is fighting members of the Ku Klux Klan. Like, because he's a hero and the Ku Klux Klan are bad guys. And they're wearing like little swastika armbands, like Nazis.
yeah,
After the campaign, Indiegogo refused to pay me the money. Because they said I was promoting hate symbols and on the villains on the cover.
You got
Yeah.
There's no
It's the
context.
erasure of history.
But
The complete
putting
erasure
that
of
symbol
history.
on a villain isn't me promoting them. Like, if you think that's me promoting them, well, they said I had to take the symbols off the campaign page, so I covered them with little Indiegogo logos instead. Like, because that's promoting. Like, I was
That's like
only
a.
Indiegogo, like,
it's almost like they've got some kind of AI that just goes around checking for weird symbols and stuff.
It's exactly like that.
It's exactly yeah. I mean, I've seen people have to take down. I mean, it's pictures of sexy ladies, but they're fully clothed. But because they're so form-fitting, the clothing, that whatever AI they use to like check all this stuff, because obviously a person doesn't do it.
It's just gotten so it's gotten so Orwellian, it's gotten so dystopian that it's become cliche. Like even saying it is just me saying it is a cliche. But it's gotten so bad that it really is pathetic because it's filtered down into music. It's filtered down into lyric writing. It's filtered down into artists, obviously, like what you're talking about, and illustration and comics. And it when it gets into the realm of like artists and comedians and musicians, and so that it's really bad, because it's not just for politicians and journalists. It's filtered down into the cultural zeitgeist and stuff. It's fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, even on places like X, which is supposed to be all free speech and stuff, now can be just as bad. So, but I think that's more because they do actually they definitely use AI to scan over everything and check everything out.
Yeah.
Well, but
it is interesting when you fight X on certain things. I've come to realize, and I'm just going to say this, and I'll leave it at this: when you fight X on certain things, and you begin to realize, like, you can get, if it makes a mistake, the AI, they'll recognize it and then they'll let you do your thing again. But there's certain things that you can say or do that they will not let you say. And I'm just going to say that. It's very interesting. That to me is like it points you in a direction to look at something and to pay more attention to it and to educate yourself more about it. That's all I can say, because
is it mandatory in nature?
All I can say is that once you start to, I don't want to go too.
Okay,
It's like
don't
this.
worry
You ever
about
heard
it.
of the
I don't want
allegory
to-
in the cave?
Yeah.
So the allegory in the cave by Plato, I believe, right?
Yeah.
The idea that once you've spent your whole life looking at shadows, and once you go up into the light of the real world, and you see the light of and what the real world is like, and then you go back down into the cave, you're like you can never look at anything the same again. But it can't be. I think a piece of the allegory in the cave that it leaves out is it can't be somebody else leading you out of the cave. You walk out yourself.
It
You
almost
stand
sounds
up
like
and you choose to walk and to learn something different that might conflict with things that you'd known your whole life.
Yeah, I've always thought of that as either the inner Earth theory, or the theory of interdimensionality, that particular analogy, or the theory of Atlantis. Like those are the things that come to mind when I hear like that Plato's cave thing. I'm like, there's something more than just what he's saying. There's something more than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Does that make any sense?
I think
at
it
all
does.
to anybody?
Oh no, I do, and I think it has a lot to do with caves. But let's talk about that later. I'm going to show this trailer here real quick, and I got to be honest. I got to go take a whiz real quick. So after the trailer's done, if I'm not back, just talk.
All right, don't worry. We'll talk about your comic.
So tell all your friends, this is the end of everything. Too late to repent. We'll pay with the blood of the dead. We will sanctify, purify, rejoice in their sorrow and sing. We'll exchange. So tell all your friends. This is the end of everything. Too late to repent.
Dun dun dun.
We will sanctify, purify, rejoice in their sorrow and sing.
Well, I'm smoking some weed, so.
Oh,
Hey, whose art is this that we just saw? That trailer.
the art is mine and some of Dale's on there.
Dale Keown?
Yeah.
Dude, I really like Dale's work, but I really like your work. I didn't actually know who you were literally until today, and your fucking work is awesome, dude.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
My
you.
apologies for not knowing beforehand, but I
No, that's fine. That's
I've
fine.
been out of the business a bit. I used to be a colorist at Dark Horse Comics, but that was way back
Oh, right.
in the 90s.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
do like how-
repeat that
I
statement.
do like. What?
Who used to be
Peter
a
Gilmore
colorist
is
at Dark
mostly
Horse?
known for his work with the Satanic Church, aren't you? Peter?
Oh, shut up. We've been over this. We've been over this.
You know, all of that. See, this is the thing, though, Peter. All of that stream is gone, anyways. So, like, you know, like.
Oh, that's
no one
true.
even know. Yeah. So everything
Yeah.
has
So-
been erased.
So we don't know what you're talking about, Mark. Shut the
Yeah,
fuck
history's
up.
been changed. It's been
all
plastered
gone.
over.
You know, it was this time. It was my minions that brought it down.
So that
There
is
was
the
there's a
danger,
lot of
you
streams been taken down recently. There was one where we confirmed that Rob Hunter actually existed 280 years ago,
That's
and
yeah,
know. That
he
was
was
the
taking advantage of some freaks. It's the same one, right?
yeah,
So-
yeah.
Mhm.
hmm
Yeah, I was going to say actually that would be a good idea too to bring up Rob's campaign. I mean, I don't know. Does he have anything
yeah.
to do with your? He seemed like a nice fellow.
Does he have
like-
anything to do? Well, let's show my campaign first so that people have
You should do
context
that.
about
Yeah.
what he did for me.
Might be.
Cool, isn't it? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Good God. I worked for 3 years,
hell
3
yeah.
years writing this, and then realized I could only publish 40 pages at a time. So here we go. Phenomenon Comic Magazine, #1. So I'll just go down to here. The year is 1999. The Soviet Union has finally begun to rebuild from the devastating atomic war, a war that visited untold destruction upon Russia and the United States. A brilliant Soviet scientist has discovered the secret to creating superhumans, but the terrorist organization Lantern intends to steal the serum and use it for their own ends. Let's watch the trailer, shall we?
Hmm.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, come on. Let's not start that.
when I switch tabs, it's like,
Yeah,
no, you
yeah.
can't look at yourself and
I
this.
know,
And I'm like,
I know.
okay.
Get 2 screens.
You know what? I'm going to share the one on my thing. Hold on. I'm going to try
Do
to
that.
share the one because I opened it up on the same. You were like, all you have to do is drag it onto the other thing and it'll be
Mhm.
there. And
You should
Couldn't
share
do
the-
it.
Oh, you don't
So-
have to.
that cost me $40. Totally
That
worth
was cool.
it. The whole moon thing in the background because there's a lot of the moon is the moon's almost like a character in my story.
And it's hollow.
Yeah.
It's made of titanium,
You have to
dog. Why
make
do you
sure
think it
the
reflects
moon
so
gets-
much?
You have to make sure the moon gets its royalties. Yeah, you could have
Oh,
just
yeah.
took a picture of the moon. Or something.
That's Minotaur. We were just there's this thing. Right?
That's number 3.
Yep.
Cool characters. Good designs.
Thank you. I would say this last one right here is probably the most. That was the most designed by Tomas. I had like the gauntlets he wears that are like ballistic knife or they're trench knives, except they are
Mhm.
attached and they come up and he holds them upside down. His name is Cruel Mantis. So when he holds them, he's holding them like this, so he looks like a mantis.
That's cool.
But that part was my design, but the rest, like the mask, was almost completely Tomas's design, and he really knocked it out the ballpark. Especially because all of the Lantern terrorists have they're wearing like masks that cover their faces, and you can generally
wait.
see their eyes.
Why is he orange if he's a mantis?
Well, technically,
Fuck.
it's kind of yellow.
What do you mean? It's that
Hey,
looks.
this guy right here
No.
is yellow.
Dude, the correct answer to a question from Mo is shut the fuck up.
I
Awkward
like the
bastard.
design. I think it looks really cool.
Thank you. Well, let's see. So we were at 296, folks. We were 296 when we got onto the page here. Let's refresh and see where we're at. 296. Nice.
Ta-da!
You just said it though. You literally just said it. You know, give it
Well,
time.
I was wondering if people had backed since then, but it's okay. We've got, so this is actually one of the pages from the book here showing the Lanterns infiltrating the D6 facility. It's also called the Big Six. Essentially, this is a research and development facility that the Soviet Union has created. And this one's dedicated to researching how to create superhumans. And so this rebellion group infiltrates the facility because they have found out that they're going to do the first experiment, the proto experiment, to discover if they can actually create superhumans. So here we have them rolling in here and taking care of business. They're here to steal the serum and kill as many people as possible.
Bold
Like
use
those
of
teeth
colors.
on that bad guy.
Russians, not people. Not people.
Huh?
Russians. Said not people.
Like those
Russians.
teeth.
Hey, Patty Q.
No.
Hey, Patty Q.
Yes.
Kind of a crazy idea, but you never know. You should give EVS the link and see if he'll come in. And if he like snipes this or like puts it out there on a tweet or something like that, you can go from 260 to like 2,600 pretty quick.
That would be cool, but I can't because I don't have a blue check mark, so I can't DM him. I don't know how to see. This is how
He's also at that race thing, and
Yeah, he's in Talladega anyway. Yeah,
Oh, that's
It's
right.
true.
That's right. My bad. Yeah.
he'll be drunk with Cecil somewhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right, Cecil. Let's not talk about that tonight.
That was weird. That was a weird show, man. I watched that whole
We have-
thing.
Oh, dude, I came home from hanging out with my brother and like just turned it on, and I happened to at this because Johnny, I don't know if you know this, but Johnny Scab has a show, Comics Get Commandos, with myself and Dr. Ben, and Peter's been on it a few times as well, and so has Kami Mark. We're all kind of from there.
Mhm.
And, Johnny left because of the whole Cecil thing, so that was like that upset me the whole day, and I still don't want to talk. I'm not going to talk about it on this stream, but it was upsetting. And then I got home and I saw that they were on, and I was like, oh, I'll listen to this. And they just, that instantly, the moment I tuned in is the moment that Patrick T dropped the bomb. And I was like,
And then Cecil's like, here's Cecil. He's like,
Okay, you guys are just like having a fucking, I mean,
that's great.
Cecil was way funnier when he was fat and gay.
I know.
Oh my God. When he was gay?
Everyone, when Cecil first came to Comicsgate, everybody thought he was gay. Hello.
I've never really, for some reason his personality doesn't jive with mine, but so I've never really gotten into Cecil or anything, but he definitely was more intriguing, or at least a more interesting character sort of in the beginning than he is now. Can I say that?
Say whatever the fuck
you have to. Yeah, you have to swear allegiance to Cecil to be
I don't like that he's
I
playing
want to take
both.
this opportunity to speak out against the crowd, so I don't get guilt by association. Or
Okay.
whatever.
Oh, is this why you lost your 14 subs the other day?
No, that's unrelated.
Oh, okay. So you disavow.
I also disavow. Cecil's my friend.
Is he your friend?
No.
Yeah,
Used to be. No. Yeah.
It's just a personal thing. Whereas, as an objective watcher, it's just a personal thing. It's not like I think he's a bad guy. It's just
he's a terrible guy.
He's I'm just not a fan, but it's just a subjective thing. Looking from the outside in.
Mm-hmm.
Cecil's a dick.
But that, you got to admit though, even as a Cecil fan or a friend or whatever, that wasn't a particularly great show the other night for him.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't really watch it.
Oh,
I don't.
You got to, man.
I saw little
Go back
clips
and
of it
watch
on. I saw clips of it on X, and
he was calling John Malin like a feminine and like a girl and a bitch, and
He called him a pussy several times.
Called him a pussy,
but
times.
he was drunk as fuck too. So there is a point where it's like you can forgive him for the. I feel like people say what they really think when they're drunk, but they are much more harsh about it. So you can forgive him for the harshness. I feel like for calling him a pussy. Yes, that's a step too far, and he did it probably only because he was drunk. But he still feels the exact same way as what he expressed on the stream.
Well,
that to me is just hilarious. John,
did he call him a pussy?
Yeah, and I love John too.
Is it worse to call someone a man? Is it worse to call a man a pussy, or to call him suggest that he is in fact a serial killer hiding numerous corpses in his basement and is in fact
Are you talking about Ben Franklin? Oh my
I
bad.
thought you were talking about Johnny Scab. Who are you talking about?
I'm just in a theoretical question. That's
To
what I'm
answer
saying.
your question,
I would say it's worse to call him a pussy.
serial murderer.
At least serial murderers have balls. They got to murder all those folks all the time. They go out and they get stuff done. Pussies don't get stuff done.
And I didn't mean to open a can of worms, so we can move on. I don't.
Oh, but rather than moving on, just to go back for a moment.
Okay.
Rather than moving on.
Yeah.
Hey, let the communists speak. It's okay.
No, go ahead. Go
this
ahead,
is,
Mark.
In our CG UK circles, we speak bluntly to each other like that all the time. Remember, Pierre Gallagher just said, "Oh, when Mark asks you a question, just tell him to fuck off." That's how we talk to each other, because friends.
Every morning, and I apologise for this because I know Americans get really upset about this word. But I'll quite often just type in the UK DM group like "morning cunts."
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, it's not
people
a big
get so
deal.
Upset. I don't understand why people get upset about that word that much.
I've heard people
one of the. Go ahead.
Or just the same thing, like he's saying. I've heard people be upset, "Oh, you can't say the C word," and I'm like, the C word. What are you talking? They're like
Chartreuse.
like Cab Calloway. Like what is what?
It's got the perfect balance of like consonants and then just that one vowel in the middle. It's just kunt.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Kunt.
just
Yeah.
perfect. It's a perfect word.
Yeah. It sounds better in your guys' accent, though. If I say cunt to somebody, it's like when an American accent says it, it doesn't sound as great. When you say cunt,
With an American accent, it sounds more cunty.
Yeah.
And I think that Americans rush through the word, like they don't savor it when they say it. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you've got to
Get
they
it
don't,
out.
Say it
they don't
like a-
savor the word.
Like just say it as fast as they can.
You,
like,
you say it. You say it, Mark. I want to hear you say
oh,
it.
we would say it like you cunt or whatever. You mean,
Yeah.
out like
Like it's not a
Oh.
one syllable word.
favor.
It's like a two syllable code.
Yeah, you've got to add syllables to
Add
it.
syllables.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well, that-
invited my parents to watch this stream. I really hope they don't tune in.
Oh, yeah. All right,
Hi,
cunts.
folks.
Oh shit, sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, here, I'm gonna keep talking about my comic book here. This is the Blue Rose. She is a Spetsnaz agent, who essentially is one of the three people who have been given what they call the Silachi serum. We learn all about this in the book itself. But the Silachi serum was created by Diamond, who I don't think is. I have a picture of him. He's a brilliant Soviet scientist, the one that was aforementioned before. And essentially, he handpicked three people that he would essentially test this serum out on. So these people are not only some of the best soldiers in the Red Army, but they are also, to a degree, expendable within that that concept. You know, you have a lot of soldiers that you can get rid of who are also the best of the best. And these are the people that the Red Army was willing to give Directorate 6 so that he could experiment on them and see how it all works. Because they could just die, but they don't. They have superpowers. So here we have cover A is done by Tomas Kovacs, the interior artist. This we have the boss here, also known as Pumpkin Man, and Minotaur, one of the three Spetsnaz agents who gets transformed into a superhuman. Minotaur is also the guy on the shirts that we have that I'll show you in a second here. And as you can see in the background, we have Blue Rose in her containment pod.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So then we have Rob Hunter's cover. Rob Hunter, CG King, and
Awful.
legend in his own
Awful.
right.
Nice.
Terrible.
Looks awesome.
That is cool. Yeah,
That's fucking cool. How'd you get all these guys to do all this? Holy
Right here,
shit, dude.
boss Pumpkin Man.
The trick
You-
is you ask people like, and then they say yeah. Like that's how you get
Mhm.
people.
Yeah,
Can you make
that's
that?
really what it is.
Holy shit! I gotta start doing that.
Can I?
You'd be
tell 'em
surprised.
Open image.
Yeah, you'd be surprised who'll say yes.
Yeah,
It's-
because I'm just starting to write a
Yeah.
comic. I'm afraid to ask any artist because I'm like it's so much of a commitment. But this is
I think the first book me and Mandy did properly together, we just asked John Malin, and he was like, "Yeah."
that's so cool. This is great, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Patty Q.
You know what my
Yeah,
favorite thing
Patty
about
Q.
artists is? My favorite thing about artists is they'll take, like, they all do it in their own style. And like I'm a artist, like I'm an art purist, and when I say art, I'm referencing all art of all time. So like I look at it from a musician's perspective because that's mainly what I started as. So I like when you give an artist something. So like say like Neon, you'll understand this. When you want to do a cover of something, it's better to do your version of the song than it is to like perfectly
Yeah.
encapsulate everything that somebody else has done before.
Oh yeah.
And I think that that's beautiful because it's not about doing something perfectly. It's about your soul expressing something. And so that's why like AI art, for instance, will always be, and I apologize, actually, I just made a mistake. I said AI art. Thank you,
Mhm.
Tony. Nice to see you, man.
So do you
AI
do,
art. There's no such thing. It's just AI slop.
do you
But this
do,
right here is something that a man created.
right?
Man.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, do you do just covers, or do you have like an album, or do you do a band with your own originals, or what's your story?
So yeah, I used to be in a band from 2010 to 2019.
Oh, okay.
No, it was 2009 to 2019, and we broke up. And so for like 5 years, I've been out of music stuff. And what I did was instead I started doing comic stuff, and I started writing this book.
Okay.
So pretty much when the band broke up, I started writing this.
So this is what you
And
did
I
during the
ended up writing,
lockdown.
300, 400 pages.
This is what you did, like
Essentially, yeah.
during the
I was like
lockdown.
so. Yes,
Sorry,
I was
I think
so
we're talking
filled
over
with
each other. My
fury
bad.
at how the comic. No, you're good. I think it's my internet connection is not very good, so I'm sorry.
Oh no.
But yeah, during the lockdown, I was
yeah.
just. You go first. You go first.
Okay. Basically, all I wanted to say was this is basically what you did during the lockdown. This is like you just battened down the hatches and started working on this instead of okay. That's all I was going to say.
Yes, I have not had, other than the friends I had previous to going into the lockdown, I've not had any like real social. I've just been going home and working on this comic book. And like I wrote 400 pages. I wrote the whole book. And this is issue 1 of 17, 16. It changes when you start putting it to pages, when you start trying to put a layout for an artist to work on. So when I originally wrote this script, it was, I want to say it was 29 pages, but the book itself is going to be like 41, 42. And even then, I can't even tell you exactly if it's 41 or 42 because there might be some things that need to be added in to make things make sense. You know what I mean? It all changes when you put it to.
Patty Q, was there some like inner child in you that when you saw these pages come back from these artists that you were like, holy shit, like this is real, this is happening, this is fucking way better than I could have imagined?
Oh yeah, that's been this whole time. Like that's been the feeling I've had whenever anybody sends me anything that's like that because I design the characters so explicitly and I'm like, this is what they have to look like. And then I send it to people when they bring it back to me, but they put their spin on it. It literally becomes real in my brain. And it's I can't thank Tomas and Rob enough. Like,
wait until you get to hold it in your hands when it's printed and you've got it there. And that's
the
awesome.
moment. That's the moment that it fully transforms from an electrical impulse in your brain to manifesting as a real physical object. Like you have to drink that moment in because that's special.
Yeah, and smell the pages.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, I'm gonna smell the pages. That's even another part that's still like crazy to think about is I maybe people will judge me for this. I don't care. I don't even know how I'm like I've already, how would I put it? This is not, we're not going into funding so that you can pay for my comic book so that I can have it made. The comic book is being made regardless of what happens. I already have money set aside for this purpose. This is going to occur. But it's more like it's like I don't know where I was going with that.
It's really special. It's really special to you. Obviously, that's the point you're trying to make. Like it's special to you. It's seeing a bit of a dream come true. It's a project that's seeing fruition. You're totally stoked about it, and you want to get it out to people and stuff. And me looking at it from an outside perspective, and just met you recently. You watched some of my live streams. We touched base. Like, I'm totally impressed, man. Like, really good job. And being a guy that's at the beginning stages of trying to do a comic, I was a colorist at Dark Horse, and I did that, but I was mainly just like horse with the blinders on. I'm just coloring. I'm not really seeing the whole process per se. I'm not seeing the penciler do the pencils, and I'm not dealing with the editor and talking with everybody in the whole process, right? I'm just doing like my job, and then going home. I had the night shift. I left at like 3 a.m. But seeing this come true has got to be like an awesome thing for you, man. Like, I'm really like, wow, bravo, well done, bravo.
Thank you.
And it looks so
well.
good.
It's one of the, like you can see down there.
Yes.
I say that I'm a comic book writer. It says Patrick Quinlan, comic book writer, because I realized today now I am. Like, it's a thing now. I've written a comic book and it's being sold, and that's that. It's like, that was something I thought about when I was 12. Like, that's what I'd love to do. And then people say to say to you, you know, oh, it's, you know, you never make any money that way, which is maybe not entirely untrue in regards to the mainstream industry. But I have high hopes. I think that my capabilities as a writer, nobody knows about because I've never written anything before. So, you know, they have no reason to trust that it would be good. But once they put it in their hands and once they actually read it, I feel like people are going to be like, wow, I'm impressed by some of the dialogue here. And
Plus, I mean,
there's so much like stuff that
this also makes you a professional comic book writer.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mhm,
I can be like, hey,
mhm.
Heather Antos, you suck.
Yeah, yeah. She's just
Why
an
don't you make
editor.
up your own character, Heather, instead of using Gwenpool? Ugh. No, all these. You
Is
know what I
that
did one
Gwen
time?
Stacy?
My
Is that a
greatest
Gwen?
sin of all time. Yes, it's an alternate version of Deadpool. That's an alternate version of Gwen Stacy.
Oh,
It's
that's
like,
what I was gonna
it's like
ask
the
you.
most
Oh,
masturbatory
okay.
version of stupidity that you could imagine.
Yikes.
I can't stand these like derivative versions of characters. I fucking hate them. I can't do it. Like there's sometimes where you can take up a character's mantle. I understand that. There's people who have taken up the Captain America mantle who I'm not against. And even technically I'm not even really against Falcon taking up the Captain America mantle, except for the fact that Falcon was a original character in his own right and deserved to just be himself instead of
Exactly.
being promoted or you know what I mean? Like he got demoted essentially from being an original character to a derivative. But as characters who would make sense being Captain America as a mantle, that makes sense. But I try to avoid that if I can. But anyway,
why do you have to stop
this
being
comic book that I'm
Falcon?
writing is like
Yeah.
exactly. He could just
Falcon
still be
was so
Falcon and
cool.
wear the Captain America stuff.
Yeah.
Or
Just
have
be-
the you know, it'd be really cool if he was still Falcon, still kept his costume entirely, but
got
started
the
carrying
shield.
around the Cap shield after Cap.
No,
gave
it
up.
should have been Bucky. You
That would
guys.
be sick because
We
then it
know-
would be
Mhm.
like, this is my friend gave me this. You
Yeah,
know,
we know it should have been.
Exactly.
We know it should have been Bucky though, because he's a super powered with the super serum and has the same. It's really hard to throw that shield and catch it and stuff if you're a normal human being.
True.
With the way that with the dexterity that he did and all that kind of stuff, it just doesn't work as well. It just doesn't work as well with a non kind of super powered human. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean, if you try to catch that shield, your hand's going to be split in half. That's
Yeah.
another thing, by the way, in this comic book that I've written, that's very important to me. Things in action do not occur that would be. So, for instance, Minotaur has super strength. If Minotaur punches a regular man, that man's head is going to come off entirely. That man is going to be brutalized. He's going to be a gore pile because Minotaur has super strength. That's just that's how it would work in real life. So it doesn't like there's no. I see this all the time in modern comics where like people will do like their ultimate move against somebody and it'll have no effect, and it's like that should have killed him outright. You don't understand power levels or how things work within your own system of power. So within this comic book, everything is based like on real life mortality. And so when people get superpowers, they just become very like highly more lethal. And that's really all it is. They don't, most of them who like people who can't, you know, deflect bullets and shit, they're still just as mortal as the next guy. They're still soft, you know? And I think that's something that I realized when I went back and read the 60s comic books like Fantastic Four as an adult, that's kind of where all that comes from. You think when you're reading through it as a kid, like, oh man, I want some better action. I want people, you know, crashing through, you know, buildings and stuff. But when you think about it, what happens in those old comic books is like within the context of mortality. So if somebody does something really horrible to somebody, it could probably kill them. And if it doesn't kill them, then that means that person's exceptionally strong. So, but the idea is to like, because people back then didn't have the concept of superheroes. They just had the concept of people. So they'll read these comics for the first time and be introduced to the idea of, you know, this guy has super strength, but it doesn't matter because this guy's super invulnerable. So what I'm kind of doing is kind of taking it back to the 60s and saying people are people. Now there's some superheroes. What does that mean? You know what I mean? I wouldn't say superheroes, superhumans.
In a Krishna Kid, I have like the opposite problem where Krishna is like a Mary Sue character. Like, he's the embodiment of the supreme personality of Godhead. Like, he can do literally anything. And that's interesting to write. You make it work with his relationships with other characters and stuff. That's not the problem. The problem is every week there's a monster of the week, a demon of the week for him to fight or whatever. And the villains that he comes up against like have to at least appear to you, the reader, like, oh, maybe this one's gonna be the one who kills Krishna, even though I'll tell you now that he lives to 125 and in the book he's 8. Like
Yeah.
know that like is still gonna win, but the villains have to like bring this like imposingness that you're like enough scared of them like to believe that there's any sort of possibility of them defeating him. Like it's quite a
That's probably the hardest part about writing Superman, don't you think? He's just so like overpowered and somewhat invulnerable that it's really hard to write a very personal like story about that.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, well, the answer is that you do it like in what the interesting thing is the relationship between him and the other characters in it. Like, use the other characters' weaknesses, like to expose the human weakness of have to help or whatever.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've just been rewatching or started rewatching The Boys. You know, the TV series.
Did you like that? I never watched it from the beginning. I didn't.
I like it. I really like it, but I like the comic as well. So, but I've just got to. So if you've not seen it, you won't know anything I'm talking about now.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead, please.
I just got to. There's a scene where Homelander, the big bad guy, he fights two other guys. There's like a Billy Butcher and a guy called, what's his name? Soldier Boy. That's it. There's like a fight scene. They're all superpowered. They've all got superpowers. But Homeland's a little bit tougher than the other two, and it takes the two, and it's just like it's one of the most knockdown, gritty fights I've seen in a superhero thing ever. I love it. It's fantastic. Slamming each other into walls and trying to burn each other's faces off with lasers. None of it's working, and Homeland has to like run away in the end. Has to hide. But yeah, it's good. One of my favorite scenes.
I forget if it's that season or if it's a different season. You know, the one where they have the Nazi woman villain.
Oh, Stormfront.
Stormfront. I really enjoyed the way that she hid behind left-wing feminist SJW talking points, like, but was secretly a Nazi, like underneath.
Yeah.
What I particularly enjoyed about that was the way that the media literate video essayists on YouTube, none of them like noticed that it was attacking them like in that way.
Yeah.
Whereas they were quick to point out anything like that was representative of conservative politics or whatever, saying, you guys don't get it, you don't understand. Like, but that show's also tackling like people simping for big corporations, like
everything's in there.
Like, I think it's a well put together show. Like,
all the orgies.
I mean, yeah, all the sort of SJWs on Twitter all went. There's a moment where they're going out into sort of like Middle America, and they pass this. It's like a barn or something at the side of the road, and this Homelander character's like painting of him on the side of it, holding up a big like rebel flag. And they went nuts about it. It's like people don't. I tend to think that nowadays a lot of people are thick, stupid, dumb. They don't kind of get subtext. They don't understand subtext. They don't understand they just see like a superficial level of, oh, look what's on the screen. They don't understand what's actually going on. It's,
I call that the American problem.
oh, disavow.
And yet, our country still allows us to be able to actually defend ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Some.
Oh, here we go.
How does
Here
it,
we
like,
go.
what's your favorite gun that you own, Kami Mark?
We don't need guns here. Like, we beat up terrorists with narwhal horns and fire extinguishers because we're
Yeah,
badass.
right.
Like,
These.
Oh my god! If you had guns over there, you
That's a
might be
great
able to
story, that
actually
is.
resist your
Like,
fascist.
This is the thing. This is the thing. It's we do have guns. You know, I had guns growing up because I lived in the countryside. Shotguns and rifles and yeah.
Shotguns.
Uh,
Do you
got
okay? Shotguns.
Shotguns are awesome.
I love this. British people. They're like, we've got guns. I have a pellet gun.
Oh, they definitely weren't
I've got a
pellet
pump
guns.
action
Definitely weren't
shotgun.
pellet. Well, I mean,
Come into my house. If you got an AK-15 or AR-15, you're not going to do anything against me with my pellet shotgun.
I mean, if you're so weak and puny that you need these kind of weapons to defend yourselves, then we're British.
If you come into my house with an AR-15,
Uh-huh.
how's that gonna help you when I spray the kitchen cleaner in your eyes? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna shoot your own feet off. Like,
And by kitchen cleaner, he means his girlfriend.
I actually have a 1911 World War One Indian sword, like that was used in World War One, and it's already got like some kills to it, like
Nice, but kill death ratio on it.
yeah, it's got some souls trapped in there, I think, like from Burma or something.
It's true. You can't chop a soul with an AR-15.
I think it was owned by George Orwell, I reckon. Like
Probably, or Churchill, or maybe I don't know.
Gandhi.
Edgar Allan Poe.
All right, can I interrupt us for a bit here? This conversation is great, except for the fact that you guys don't think that America is a better country than yours. But that aside, it's a great conversation. But
Luke, we let you have it. We let you have it. You know, and you've ran it for a while. But look what you've fucking done to it now. Do we need to come back and take it away from you? You've had your chance. You fucked it all up.
If your country was any better than ours right now, I would want to take it over. But we're in just as bad a situation, my guy.
Oh yeah,
they are running
I need to,
Canada. I mean, look at Canada. They're applauding the
oh my god,
the fascists up there.
We can't talk about Canada.
I think there's a lot of Canadians that are really pissed off.
Yeah,
I've talked to some of them, but
to be fair, we do still own Canada, don't we?
That's what I'm saying. Look at what they're doing with that shit. It's
you know what's sad to see is Scotland, who I've always thought of being some of the most rebellious people in the world, are being, now they're coming around and trying to arrest people who are saying bad words or on a podcast, or they're all that kind of shit that's going on in Scotland. It's like, that's sad to see just from an outsider looking in.
It does.
Oh yeah.
what's the name of the guy over here that just got sent to jail?
Are you talking about? Are you talking about
the-
Dankula, Count Dankula, or are you talking about somebody else?
Oh, no, not Dankula. The guy over here that like he posted like a Twitter that said like Democrats could like text to vote or something.
Oh yeah. He got put in jail for that.
Yeah, he's in jail for
For
like
a
a
meme.
few years.
It's
for a tweet.
fucking crazy.
And then like they show
Weird.
like people on the other side doing the same thing, like, oh yeah, Republicans voting day is Wednesday instead of
And
Tuesday.
they didn't do anything. Yeah. It's
So
a
that's what I'm
two-tiered
saying. It's
system
all
of- justice.
I mean, over here, to be honest, the tide's turning a little bit. And Mark could explain. There's a TV show called "Have I Got News for You?" Explain "Have I Got News for You," Mark, and what happened the other night with the transgender joke or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a little bit. So Last week, the week before, 10 days ago, something like that, the government were given a report called the CAS report, which was like a long, detailed look into the way that transgender people are receiving care, like in the UK, and it was fucking lambasting like the state of things, saying, all this is done on no evidence, weak evidence, no one knows what puberty blockers are doing, all of that sort of jazz.
Oh yeah.
And almost instantly, it has made it not acceptable, but suddenly the debate's open, whereas 11 days ago, it was instant cancellation for saying these things, but now it's on the menu again. What Peter's referring to is there's a weekly topical news satire show or whatever where they talk about the news, and they done a joke about gender that 11 days ago would not have been on the BBC. That have definitely.
This is exactly what that fucking cocksucking piece of shit Bill Maher did the other fucking night.
Oh God.
That. So this is all what they're doing. That's the new fucking memo. It's not like they've all had a change of heart and, well, you know what? I think if they're all doing it all at the same time,
they're trying to save their career.
Fuck all of them. That's what I'm saying.
That's it exactly.
All the same thing. Not to berate it to other things, but you know what I mean? You have all these people that their opinion on something will switch on just a dime. Yeah,
and it's almost
we hate this guy. Fuck Ed Piskor. He's a fucking grooming piece of shit.
Right.
And then the next week, oh my God. Now, and this is the thing. That's I was doing all that. I made jokes about all the groomer stuff because they had been talking about that shit for years.
Well, my only statement
and this on that, hold on a second.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
This is the same shit John Malin was pissed about. Rightfully fucking so. And I don't mean to take over your fucking launch stream, Pat, but this is all the same shit that's all going out there, right? Nobody talks about all this shit. Them fucking Friday night fucking faggots. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They want to bitch and moan and cry about fucking Miss Piggy. we get fucking death threats. John Delarose gets death threats every fucking week.
Yeah, but it is John Delarose.
Doesn't matter. Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I said half of them, so I mean, but you know what I'm saying? All these cocksuckers, Bleeding Cool, the fucking Comic Speed, all the Fantagraphics, all of them, they ignore anything with Comicsgate. And so, I mean, that's the thing is who's Comicsgate, right? Obviously the biggest fucking pussy, right? John Malin. But if he's a pussy, the pussy that I fucking love is this guy. This guy right here. Fucking drawing this. Art T Bear. And
yeah.
Yenza.
Oh, it's a good
Art
dude.
T Bear is Comicsgate. You know what I'm saying? He is the fucking biggest pussy of all, if you want to talk about who's pussies, So I mean, that's if I was John Malin, I'd be I'm in the same league as fucking Art T Bear. And who else? Who else do we have? Fucking Graham Nolan. You know what I'm saying? Kelly Jones.
Aaron Lepresti.
So I mean, John Malin, you're in the fucking league of big pussies like that. And they're every week giving out fucking master classes on how to make comic books.
Look who's in the chat. Look who's crept into the chat. Look who's crept in. Look at him.
Is it Mandy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. High love, but
you know what I'm saying?
Hail, Mandy.
Every week, that's what we have in Comicsgate.
Do you mind?
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to learn from Aaron Lepresti, John Malin, Graham Nolan, Ethan Van Sciver, and not really well, I was gonna say not really Mandy, but I'm just joking. Fucking Peter. Hell yeah.
Can it get me in trouble? Gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. That's just me. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm on the blacklist like since forever. Like I didn't know about Comicsgate back in the day, and like I've seen all these fucking little guys run around me. See them all like toxic. Like I have no interest in like appealing to like any of them people like that. Fantagraphics, Rich Johnson, any of them. And like that's the problem with so many people in indie comics is that they want to draw fucking Spider-Man. They want to draw fucking Batman. Fuck you, you fucking little, you're not even pussies. You're bitches. You're just trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what it is. You're not, if you're trying to do that, they're never going to let you in. You know, there's 20 more people that have never, you know. So,
yeah.
Well,
that's
my,
that's just
my thing on the what I was trying to say. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Ben.
No, you're fine. I'm just, you know, I go off sometimes.
What I was trying to say on that Ed Piskor thing was like, people can, I think morality of what people interpret morality is separate from what the law is. And the law said that what he was doing was not illegal. So there's that. The second thing is that he didn't actually touch the girl. Okay, so you can say it's creepy if you hey, you can maybe come over if you need to, but like I read every statement and it was like, yes, I think he was flirting with her. Okay, let's not lie. That's what I think was happening. However, was it explicit? Was it sexual? And was it like illegal? None of those things cross that line, in my opinion. Therefore, if you're just talking about legal, forget about the moral or your perspective on what morality is and if you should be doing this or not. Forget about that for just a second. I'm just saying, did he touch her? No. Was it illegal? No. How does that compare with the people that are going to private islands and hanging out with, you know, on private jets and going to private fucking islands? And I'm talking about Epstein and stuff. And you know, if we want to talk about what horrible things are happening to 12-year-olds and that whole eyes wide shut fucking crew, let's compare it to what happened with Ed Piskor. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, and people want to ignore and pretend like it doesn't exist and pretend like the Clintons are fine and pretend like Bill Gates is fine. All these people are fine. Let's not talk about that, but let's get on Ed Piskor for this, you know, to me, that is the ultimate hypocrisy that I saw during that time. And no one talked about those people and no one talked about the real danger of like the Mothers of Darkness Castle in Belgium and, you know, Castle Armois and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about some real shit and compare it to what you're talking about with Ed Piskor. And it's not even close. They're not even in the same ballpark. So that was my statement about that. You know, I'm not saying it was cool. I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying it wasn't creepy. I'm just saying comparatively, and that everyone ignores the stuff that's really going on. That's bad.
It sounds to me, if you didn't see anyone talking about that, it sounds to me like you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel because you know, we did like did an expose on like the Prince Andrew on Epstein Island stuff, like
so you essentially agree with what I'm saying then, because you know
story, I get a kick out of doing those stories. I like them. And to echo what Dr. Ben was saying earlier, like I too was frustrated by the spinning on a dime of people's opinions from ha 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 Ed Piskor's a pedo to oh boo-hoo Ed Piskor killed himself. Like I understand it, like but to watch it happen so quickly like was frustrating. That's why I waited 2 weeks after he done all 2 weeks after he done killed himself to do all of my Ed Piskor is a pedo jokes. Like and
You're right.
Go and watch that video.
Well,
But also, it's important to say that being able to change your opinion like instantly isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like we should all be able to do that. Like when presented with new evidence that counters your original idea, like you should be open to instantly changing your opinion. Like,
are they going to change their opinion now?
But I do feel like you have to be upfront about it, though. So, like, for instance, I used to believe in evolution. Now I don't believe in evolution at all. I think evolution's complete and utter fucking bullshit. And, but I'm willing to say that and to that harshness But there's some people who will claim that they have a different opinion, but they'll never really decry the previous opinion that they had, and it makes it really like, well, do you really think this, or are you just trying to like get people to like buy from you, essentially?
There's a lot of that around. A lot of that about. Yeah, people saying things just to sell a book.
Yeah, I'll be Comicsgate if you buy my book.
Oh, that was the most. Yeah, that was the most egregious. Yeah.
Wait, what are you guys talking about? What's that referring to?
Some
I bought a copy of Cyberfrog. I bought my copy.
5-year ago drama or something like.
Okay, I'll let it go.
Part is to take the lesson when asked the question on Comicsgate. Don't reply with "Yeah" if you buy my book.
Especially do not do that when you're on a live stream with me, Mandy, John Malin.
Wait, who said this? You have to let me know. Come on, you guys are on my show. You can't bring up information and then not tell me things.
Come on, Peter.
Come on, Peter.
I've forgotten.
Ah,
Yeah,
I'm a bitch.
that was some good acting, man.
I do not know.
Do you know what time it is over in England right now?
Mandy remembers. It was
Mandy. Who was it?
She can
just tell me, Mandy. I won't hold Peter responsible.
You won't know who it is anyway. Guarantee you won't know who it is.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a while ago. It was a while ago.
And it obviously backfired.
It did backfire splendidly.
Good. I'm Comicsgate whether you buy my book or not. I don't really care. I'm just gonna continue to be Comicsgate. I guess I have my own idea of what that is, and to me that means like that if you were in the mainstream, your political opinions would make you canceled by the Marxist scum that control it. Then that's how I feel.
I just think independent art in general, whether it's independent music or independent artists or independent comics, I think that's where it's at right now, because I think the mainstream has gotten so flat. We all know that, it's obviously driven by agenda. We know that too. But I'm just saying, like, as far as the good stuff that's coming out, I think it's going to, over the next 10 years, be in the independent sphere in general.
The decentralization of global media is not going to stop.
No, it's going to get worse.
Right now is the time to be building the new corporation to supersede the ones that are on the way to the gutter. And we're going to have the advantage because we know what the internet is, in a way that the 70-year-old men who run ABC or whatever don't understand.
That's true.
When I take over and I have my own, I have like millions of dollars, Commie Mark, I'm going to buy like a whole country for you and you can run it as a communist country and you can liberally use the guillotine and it'll be great. We'll have a show in there, like a, what do you call it? Like one of those shows where it's like a reality TV. That's what it is. And it'll just be following you around.
Everybody's completely
General Secretary Mark, and we're going to see what he does.
Everyone's going to be completely screwed when the Stuntman Comics cinematic universe kicks in. You're all screwed.
Oh my gosh!
Do you guys agree with that?
Does anybody else have this stream?
Okay,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was just wondering if you guys agree with that, and if you don't, it's totally cool. But do you agree with that it's kind of the independent sphere is like never had a better opportunity to really?
Oh, yeah.
The only thing we got to consider is the distribution, right? That's the only thing that is they can control more. Like printing and distribution things. Like that's going to be the next step. That there's going to be. They're going to move from like, okay, well, shops aren't really going to sell this, and people have been buying all the comics anyways. Okay, well, we need to go up to the next thing, which is going to be. I mean, if I can think of that, they've already thought of that, and that's got to be something that's next in the all of it, So that's.
I mean, that's what Ripascend is for, though, Ben. That's what Ripascend is for.
That's true. That is true. Eric
I think-
July leads the way as always.
That's,
God bless Eric.
The
July.
convenient thing about the corporations, though, the best thing about corporations is that they think like corporations, and so they're only concerned with the money. They're not concerned with the art. They're concerned with the art in as much as it gives them more money. So they'll sell V for Vendetta because V for Vendetta is it'll make you money. They don't really care that V for Vendetta is like an actual good piece of art, that it's a brilliant book. And so that's why they're not like, and this is before it would be like, okay, we don't care about the art, but we're going to hire these people care about the art. So we're going to pay them a good bit of money to get that art shit that we don't really care about done, just so we can make our money. But now they've got AI. So they don't really even need to hire somebody who cares about the art in their minds. In their minds, they think the art is already, it's there for the picking for us. We can just use AI and have AI create all this stuff for us. And, mark my words, they're going to do this. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I am 85% of the time, I'm 95% precise on things that I say. So take that percentage to the bank, buddy.
That hurts my head.
That's what they're going to. They're just going to move right into AI completely. And the thing about AI is that there's no soul in it, and they don't understand that the human being does have a soul. And when you make your soul come out in art, go ahead.
DC just got in trouble for doing AI covers. I think they did. Was it three or four they did, and they pulled them now.
Shameful.
I have an
Fucking
interesting,
shameful
hypothetical for you then, Patrick, because obviously I agree with you. I have issues with AI art, like more for the exploitation of the proletariat, like the stealing of the resources to build the.
I love how you say proletariat.
But to your point about it being that the art lacks soul, if Asimo picked up a paintbrush and painted it with his hands, would that have any change in your opinion on whether it counts as art or not?
If who did? Sorry, you said who?
Asimo, like the Honda robot. Any robot,
No,
it doesn't really matter. Like it could be
It's a robot.
C-3PO, like
No. The human person is an entirely distinct entity from any other entity that exists, at least on this planet. The human person he has a body and he has a soul. Those are two things that are connected with each other inextricably. But
okay, so
you can't really separate the two.
What
So a robot is not. It'll never be a human.
What about in the case of like a higher primate, a non-human higher primate, like a grey ape, doing some painting? Like, does that count as art, or does that also lack soul?
Well, I think animals are underrated as fuck. I really do, and I do think they have
Interesting
souls.
question there.
I think sentient creatures
Yeah.
do, but but I mean, I think I know the general gist of what we're trying to say is that AI art should not replace artists. It could be a tool, to make a better.
I agree. It's 100% a workers' rights issue. Like, I'm in agreement with you on that. Like, I'm just trying to get to the art part.
Well, look, we can't even have a cartoonist union. We're prohibited.
No, there should be no unions. But Commie Mark's not wrong. It is a workers' right issue. It's actually
like crossing that the uncanny valley for me that Mark never breaks character. It's actually
I know it's so
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it so much.
It's pretty fucking amazing.
But see, this is
I've
the thing.
spent my
Is
whole
every
life
time,
studying the Soviet Union, so like every time he like drops those buzzwords, I find it hilarious. It's so great. The proletariat.
What were you gonna say, Ben?
just that every time they once they start to have a crossover between like the let's say the average right wing or conservative working class sort of person, and the more people more like Commie Mark here, who have like a more intellectual, like they're looking at it through these workers' rights aspects. Every time there start to be a crossover with that, they generally they shut that down, turn it into a joke, into a clown show.
Anyone even slightly right of Stalin? Yeah,
is a Nazi now. Yeah, supposedly, according to these people. It's,
Mark's a Nazi.
I have been called a Nazi on Twitter, like that.
You have, yeah.
Fact. Like,
you were also you were called alt-right, and you were called a Nazi, and which is
alt-right,
which is actually true. He's not really a commie. It's just a bit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
look at his
But that's the
face.
thing. I don't know. Is it a bit or is it not? Don't tell me, because I really don't want to know. Like, I think that in my mind, not knowing whether or not you're actually a commie or not, like, it's actually, I like it more.
It's the same reason you didn't want to know the Joker's origin story earlier on when you were talking about things.
Exactly.
It's like, just let me have the mystery.
Another synchronicity.
That's 4. That's 4.
That's
can
4,
I
baby.
mention
If
something?
we can get to 7.
Yeah. Can I mention something about, like, just something that I was thinking about? And you guys are smart, talented dudes. So, like, I genuinely want to know what your opinion is. And if it disagrees, that's fine. I just would like to hear your opinions on this. On X, when they were like, Elon Musk was talking about, we're cracking down on engagement farming.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Right. But then to me, in my mind, I'm like, I just figured out how X works. Once in a while, and only when I'm interested genuinely in the subject, I'll take what's trending and I'll talk about it, and then it'll get me more engagement. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of figuring out how this works. It's like, if you present the algorithm, you present a game, you essentially set up a game, right? And then people figure out the rules of the game, and then they use that in order to grow their channels and stuff. Is that really a horrible thing to do? And then you're just creating a new game, and then with new rules, and now you have to figure out what the fuck that is. But essentially, it's mind control. It's a mind control device, because it's like, here's a bad boy, and here's a good boy over here, and here's a bad boy, and then people like the quartering, just whichever way the wind blows, they're writing the algorithm. No matter what, it's writing the algorithm. He's got a personality of an HR meeting. You know what I mean? So like, all the matters is engagement and coffee brand coffee. And it's like it's what I'm saying though is it's both fucked up from the perspective of a user, as well as fucked up from the perspective of this guy or whoever it is that's changing the algorithm, is basically like mind controlling people with behavior modification, like Pavlov's dog, to figure out, what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and what's fair and what's ethical and what's right. It's fucking hard to know. It's hard to predict what's the wrong thing to say, and it's creating this newspeak too. Have you ever heard the quartering talk in his videos? It's like this bad guy from World War II was basically like doing this bad thing to children, and then the children were like, "This is bad," and I'm like, it's just destroying our fucking language with newspeak.
No, and if you were to look back on, let me put it like this: if you were to be 300 years in the future, and you were able to view all of the YouTube videos that existed ever, you would look at the Quarterings videos first, and you would not know a goddamn thing that's going on. You would be like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then you would only be able to have any idea what he's saying within the context of actual people, and I mean to say that, who actually use real words. Like, this guy literally refuses to use words because he's afraid that it's going to prevent him from making money. That's really what it comes down to. He won't say the word COVID-19, rather 2 words. Excuse me, I'm stupid.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say "coof" instead because he doesn't want to lose money. And I find that to be
that's not necessarily why he does
pathetic.
That's
why does
the reason. The reason they do that. The reason they do that is because, and I don't know how bad YouTube are still. It's because they would give you a strike on your channel for talking about that
what
stuff.
Peter's saying is true. On one hand, I totally understand why people have to do that. I have to do it to a certain extent. I do it less than, let's say, the quartering. Okay, which is kind of an extreme example because he's really all about like whatever money he's gonna. And with me, it's like if I lose everything tomorrow, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just start over. I don't give a shit. I I'm not really that cavalier, but I'm just saying it would fucking suck and I'd be pissed for about 2 days, right? But what I'm saying is that's kind of an extreme example, but with
I think it's another manifestation of the American problem. So, like here in the UK, like we're excellently trained in the art of speaking politely while being savagely dismissing, cutting, and attacking. In a way, the Americans like
That's
smile.
true.
No, he just
That's
gave me
true.
Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? I'm Cecil. Hold on a second. Now, are you? Is this a slam against me right now? Hold on a minute.
Why can't you
John
be a
Bell-
human being?
Hold on.
sorry.
Hey, Cecil, has anyone
Sorry,
considered
Peter.
the idea that Cecil is like an agent provocateur? Like he just goes in to like say something to just like set off
No
like
comment.
a fire. You know what I mean? Like just that's what I consider like
He's always done that. He's always done that. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it thins the herd, you know, like it's rid of the
You need someone to throw some bombs in the show, like to
Yeah.
And just because he rubs me the wrong way doesn't mean I really genuinely don't like him. Like I genuinely don't like Nerdrotic and I genuinely don't like Eric July. I will say that just outright. Like I genuinely don't like these people. And I feel the same way about the 199 and fucking I just don't like him. But I don't feel that way about
I like
Cecil.
Ryan Cannell because he's.
I like
fucking
Ryan better
savage.
than all of them.
You know, Ryan is the funniest, the most talented one of all of them in that griftosphere. But Eric July is a weird situation for me. Like I thought that he was gonna. Well, I was a Ripistan essentially. Until he went on Nick Rekieta's show. And when he went on Nick Rekieta's show, and because like my dad's a lawyer, and so I've had those kinds of conversations my whole life. Like, you're like, but it's not fair, and they're like, well, that's not the law, and you just have to fucking get used to it. You know what I mean? That's been my whole life, is that kind of conversation of like, words fucking matter. The specific words that you say are really important, especially in a legal case. So you can't just be throwing things out like that. And so I saw that conversation between them, and I was like, dude. I think I personally messaged him saying like you like Rekieta was just trying to help you, like you should look at it from that perspective and try to maybe understand him, because I really wanted everything about the Rippaverse to be super successful. Did I know that it was not as good as other things? Yes, but that didn't matter to me because I still like it was a movement and it was moving forward and things were going, and it was like, there's room to grow. But when you say that there's no room to grow, and when you refuse criticism, and then when you like act super condescending towards everybody who ever even like mentions maybe that you can't take criticism, it becomes, to me, it's like, oh, I see. Well, this is like, do I think that Eric July is some kind of like plant? No, but I'm really sad about the whole thing because I feel like he could. If he had just listened to advice, that's all that it is. It's so sad. It's just so sad to me.
This is crazy. This is the craziest thing I've ever said. But like, I don't believe this. I genuinely don't. But like, Jerry was in federal prison, right, for the stuff that he did, and Rippa was in a gang banging and stuff. So at some point, he probably had to like turn on somebody or work with the feds or whatever. Now, could those be?
he was in a gang.
Plants and working with the feds to actually sort of be in control of controlled opposition. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I actually don't believe it. Like 100% do not believe it, but I'm just saying.
You need a massive tinfoil hat to get to that.
To get to that point, yeah.
I don't know. There's so many.
I'm sorry, Neon. Could you repeat what you said? My stream, because my internet's so bad, it just like completely.
I might have just brought down your stream with what I just said.
No, do it again. I want to hear what you said, especially if it's offensive. I like that. I like offensive shit.
No. It's really not. Okay, one, I don't actually believe it. Two, I'm not trying to be provocative or offensive just for the sake of doing it. Like, I'm just trying to be authentic and real and to tell you how I really feel. But like, I like everybody on this panel, and everybody's like fucking talented and smart. So if I'm saying something that annoys people, just tell me and I'll shut up, because I'm pretty good at not like. I don't really care about my own ego enough to yap and yap and yap. But
I'll tell you, like, I'm very blunt. I'll tell you if I want you to shut up, but I'm
Right.
Continue.
so like all I was saying was it's just a weird coincidence to me, even though I don't believe it, that Gary was like in federal prison and probably had to cop a plea or do something to turn around his situation. And the same with Eric, that was like gang banging and getting into like serious violent trouble with gangs and stuff. And you know, is it possible that they could be controlled opposition and you know, used by the feds to like break into the alt-right community or sort of control it from the inside?
Yeah.
I don't believe that's the case. I was just throwing it out there as a joke and just
Don't you think? Go ahead.
I don't think the feds give a fuck about any of this stuff that we do over here. So I think that's just stuff that people say to, I don't know, have a boogeyman or whatever.
I would give feds a lot more credit than that. But I don't see them hiring to what would have been nobodies at that times in their careers or whatever. Like, you know, if someone who's already established comes through on a drug charge or whatever, then maybe you might try and manipulate that guy and turn him into a spy or whatever. But you're not just going to pick some random
just in the hope that one day they will have a 100, 200,000 subscribers or whatever. Yeah.
No, the truth is
like in the BreadTube community. I don't know if you know what BreadTube is. Like the most famous member of that is this YouTuber ContraPoints. Like, she's a big trans YouTuber, like Abigail Thorne. Like, does anyone know who I'm talking about? Like, no.
When you say she, do you mean he, except you're saying she to be polite, or are you?
I'm saying, yeah, it's a male to female trans person.
I see.
Yeah. Like, so anyway, point is that she got paid by the UK government to do COVID videos and encouraging people. And a whole bunch of people on that side of the internet were paid by the state, like to spread the official propaganda or whatever.
Yeah,
so
it was like Spider-Man
that's what
comics
you're
for
saying,
that.
Neon. That definitely does happen. Like,
no, subversion and infiltration does happen. I'm just saying it's probably not a situation. And I'm also saying that I just made a tweet today. I don't know if you saw it, Patty Q, but like I just made a tweet saying like this is pretty much the end of my ragging on like Nerdrotic and Ripa and stuff like that. Like I made a couple of jokes about the follow sheep instead of the fellow sheep, and I put sheep in the chat, and it's the follow sheep. Because I experienced the brunt of their fucking swarm. Like you kick the hornet's nest and those motherfuckers come out and protect their master. And they will like be like what he was saying, dude. Like they actually make death threats and shit. Like it's not a joke. Mine is just a meme and a joke saying the Zero's journey or the follow sheep.
Yeah.
You know, just like they said the MCU. Well, you know, you're saying it to them, but it's not okay for me to say it about you. It's the same exact thing. I'm just making a meme. It's just guys in a locker room snapping a towel at somebody's ass. It's just a jab. It's not really like I hate you guys. It's just like, you know, you guys did something good, which was push back against the mainstream and the DEI and the inclusion and all that stuff. You guys did a good thing, but you kind of got a big head and you got a little bit hypocritical. And now we're checking you going, okay, hold on a second. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it ever was for me. It's not like I fucking hate you guys or I hate all your fans. It was not that at all. It's just like, don't be hypocrites though. And don't act like you can do cancel culture, but they can't. Go fuck yourself. And don't act like, oh, you can't attack family members, but then go attack like Mark Hamill's granddaughter and use that as a political football.
And Ethan's daughter.
Right. Well, look, if he'd been attacking the granddaughter thing for a while, and I actually
give it up. My point is, I'm ready to give it up.
I thought it was funny, but like when he goes after the Miss Piggy thing, like that's when it becomes hypocritical. Like if you just taken that in stride and said, yeah, my wife didn't find that funny, and also Ned said nothing at all. There's that. Like just moved on with your life. First of all, if you'd said nothing at all, then the comment would have meant nothing. It would have done nothing. When you respond to things, when you like, that's the thing that blows my mind. Like if you respond to it, then you've given them what they wanted. If you just completely ignored it, like his wife did. His wife completely ignored it. So far as I'm aware, his wife.
No,
has
she
not
she
commented
responded, but it was
at
like
all.
totally. It was totally a cool response. It wasn't like like her response was fine.
Uh-huh.
She did
Yeah,
respond.
she didn't respond.
said,
with,
like-
"Oh no, like you can't say that about me." She was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, look at you, you fat fuck!" Or like it was something like
There
Yeah,
you
it
go.
was fine.
Yeah.
you know,
That's
the
exactly
way
what you do.
do that.
You just send a picture of the person who did that to you back with a picture of a Muppet next to it. That's all you do. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I'm
It
not a
blows
fan
my
of
mind that
people.
they're like,
I'm not a fan of
shared
people.
a picture of me next to Monster. What's his name? That drummer one, like
Animal.
Yeah.
Animal.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like
Animal.
Yeah, that'd be a compliment,
it
though.
happens. You have to take it.
Anyway, the last thing I'll say, and
the
then
one with
I'll
Shane
turn it,
next to Beaker. That was funny.
the last thing I'll say, and then I'll turn
Hmm.
it over to you guys because I've been yapping. But
Hmm.
the last thing I'll say is that I'm ready to give it up because I'm bored with it. Like I'm tired of, I was just trying to make a couple of statements, put out a couple of memes, and like kind of keep them in check, and just go like, don't get your head so fucking big that you don't realize that you're being hypocritical here, and also realizing that you did something good. We needed to push back. That initial pushback was good. I'm not saying that it
Yeah.
wasn't. But let's keep ourselves in check and let's get our egos down into
Mhm.
reasonable territory here. But I'm sick of it. I'm kind of tired of doing the whole thing, and it's not because people are swarming. That has ended. It's
Yeah.
no big deal. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm fucking bored with it, so I'm ready to move on. And there's nothing real new news coming out about it. But for what but I think they needed a little bit of like check to the checkers. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
I don't think
that's
they'll hear you though. That's the problem. Is that they don't seem to.
No, they
That's
won't.
why I'm kind of out as well. Is
Yeah.
that like I used to get involved in like arguments with people on Twitter about it. One, like for whatever reason, and tell me if you guys feel the same way. But when I get into arguments with people on the internet, I get very upset personally. Like I don't feel good. Like I'll like go home from work and I'll have argued with people on the internet all day, and I'll just feel like shitty. You know what I mean? I just feel like fucking like it just feels bad. And that's why I gave up social media for like years until I got Twitter. I had to get Twitter because I had to promote this comic book. That's why I have Twitter, to promote my comic book. And like I hate it sometimes when I've argued with people. So I try now to just completely not argue with people anymore. And there's so many things. I'm a very argumentative person. Like if you were to like
No,
when
you
we're
aren't.
on stream, you can see that I can become very like aggressive about my opinions. But the I love how that you said that. No, you aren't.
can't see.
That's like the Ministry of Argument. You know what I'm talking about?
Patty Q, how old are you, by the way?
30.
30.
I got
okay,
gray hair, but I'm 30.
30.
But thank you, Mandy. See, doesn't it suck though, Mandy? Like having Twitter and having to like respond to people, and like I would rather just talk to people like this on stream. Like this is fun for me. I like talking to people because we can actually see each other and see each other's facial expressions and stuff. But when it's on Twitter and you like say shit to people, but anyway, long story short, like
I don't
there's a
argue
bunch of
on
people who will
Twitter.
say things. You don't what? You don't like being on Twitter?
No, I said I just don't argue with people on Twitter.
No.
Like, that's the
Yeah.
solution to your problems. Just don't do it.
What's the
Right.
point? Yeah, like they're because they're never gonna feel like your opinion is their opinion now. Like it'll never
No.
happen.
You're
on
never
Twitter.
going to change anybody's mind.
That's
No,
the
zero.
truth. Yeah.
The best that
It's
you
like-
can ever hope for is like a slam dunk joke off the back of what they said. Like,
Yes.
and they'll come
Yes.
back with something shit that you just ignore. Like, it's that
Yes.
simple.
No, I think Peter's right. It's just like you're never going to change their mind no matter what you do. I think human egos are real calcified even more these days than ever. So you really can't get underneath the armor to like get to the real person and stuff. And so it's just you might as well not even try. And
Well,
so I agree with Peter on that one.
you know,
Yeah. And
If-
yeah,
if I
Twitter is
could-
a necessary cesspool of hell, but you wouldn't know me if it wasn't for Twitter, Mandy. So it's got its good points.
It's got its good points.
Yeah, I mean,
if I
Yeah.
could, sir, this is
May.
the good book. It says in First Corinthians.
wait a minute.
chapter
Is that
3.
the new James?
This is the old one, the
translation
King
or-
James. King
What is
James.
Yeah.
King James First Edition?
authorized.
Signed by Jesus, was that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
not the
he's-
Catholic version, but it's
Oh
acceptable.
shit! Well, now I
All
left. Wow.
Patty, you're
So-
throwing them off.
It says, "I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase." So I mean, we never know.
Mm.
Your joke about Stephen King being Stephen King, that might just be the seed that grows in someone else's heart to outdo
Wow.
him, the next person to Mandy, the young Mandy Summers heard a joke about Stephen King, and now she has come to claim the throne of horror.
Oh, to claim the throne. Gotcha.
I had a dream one time about. Oh, Peter, go ahead.
Cool.
No, I was just going to say Stephen King's kind of just evolved into an angry old lady.
Yes,
Very disappointing.
me too.
Then again, I liked his older books, but the last few are he's literally writing the same story over and over now.
You're totally right, dude. Like, he used to be actually pretty fucking amazingly talented. Like, I'm not honestly, like, I'm not joking. Like, there's
horror, not horror. Jesus Christ!
Not
I'm
horror.
sorry.
right. The king of horror.
But he wrote.
Mr. Self-Destruct, please, sir. Disavow. That is not what I said.
But again, I'm going to agree with Peter.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
And but I really think that he was actually pretty talented, and he had his he's always had weird taste though. Like Kubrick did the best movie he's ever written, and he was like, I hate that one the most. It's like, dude, get over the fact that it was a yellow car and now it's a red car. Just, can you get over the details and realize that Kubrick just did a movie that's fucking amazing that you wrote, dude? He's got bad taste. But go ahead, Patty. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I just so Christopher Bouchard asked this question at hold on a second. He asked this question at 7:41 p.m. 11 minutes after we started the stream. And I never answered the question, and I feel bad about it. Because the book is called Phenomenon. So Christopher Bouchard, let me put it like this. This book that I'm writing there's a lot of like mysteries involved in it. There's a lot of things that are secrets in the sense that like if you know the information already, you'll be able to instantly recognize it. If you don't know, however, you'll need to go out of the cave and look up at the real sky. So what I would say is, I know.
What I would say is you really just could. Do you know what you should do? Luke,
my book
let me teach you. Let me teach you.
Yes.
Let me teach you promoting your fucking comic
There you go.
101. Bring the campaign up and then talk about it that way. Yeah?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done.
That's the third time I've agreed with Peter.
Peter, this is.
Thank you.
In
It'll
fact,
probably help if I
to
hit it up
be
on my
fair,
web.
to be absolutely honest, have the campaign up all the time. We can be at the side of the screen talking. It's fine. You can have the campaign.
Really? I can have you
Yeah.
guys on the
For the
side?
rest of the whole way, bro. For the rest of the whole way. They've seen enough.
Yeah.
of us.
I'm not,
'Cause-
I like having our faces big, so I'm not going to do it the whole time, but I'm going to share the campaign.
At least for a moment.
At least for a moment.
have
Phenomenon.
to get,
You might wonder, why is it called
drink.
Phenomenon? Who's the character named Phenomenon? This is
Hold
what,
on a second, Patty Q. That shit has gone up from 265 to 324. Am I wrong?
Oh, shit.
Mhm.
You're
Am
right.
I wrong?
Excellent.
Wow. Thank
Come
you,
on.
folks.
This is working.
Let's refresh the page just to make sure. 352, ladies and gentlemen. We are at 70%.
70%.
Amazing. In 7 hours. In 7 hours. Amazing.
Dude,
Bro. That's great.
2 backers of
Fantastic.
copy of the cover A. We've got 7 backers for cover B. Did anybody buy the shirts yet? No shirts. That's okay. Maybe the shirts are too expensive. I don't know. But that's kind of, to be honest, how much they cost me to make. So, but anyway, Phenomenon. You ask who the character is. There is no character in this book named Phenomenon. This
can we
book
play
is
the
named
trailer? Can
Phenomenon.
we play the trailer?
We can play the trailer. That's a great idea. I'm surprised that nobody else thought of it.
No, we can't play the trailer. Oh, we can.
Now I've got to close some other YouTube videos. Oh, thank you, Gail. My coworker backed it just recently. Thank you, Gail. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you. So in the year
Nice.
2022 of our actual reality, the United States government decided that it was going to stop calling UFOs UFOs. They decided they were going to start calling them unidentified aerial phenomena. Now, this word, phenomenon, what it is essentially... Oh, God.
Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. Phenomenon. Do, do. Sorry.
Would you be like, there's like 4 other people who've said that to me before.
Dude, every time the word phenomenon. Yeah.
You should
Every
just
time I
do
hear
the
it.
song.
No, I know. I thought of it too.
Dude, yeah,
But,
like, think about that. Like,
If I were you guys, I would read this book here, The Passport to Magonia. If you want to know some like secrets about my story, because I'm not going to tell you. Like I wrote 400 pages of this story. We've got 17 issues we've got to release. This is issue 1. If you want to know things about things, just read that book right there. That'll help you a little bit in understanding what it's about. But like I said, I don't want to tell you everything about it. I'm just saying that I'm just going to make some comments like, you know, the United States decided that the word phenomenon is now what they use to apply to any aerial phenomena that occur.
Phenomenon.
And so, phenomenon.
Sorry, dude.
God damn
Sorry,
it.
dude.
Don't make me mute you, dude.
Luke, I've been fighting the urge to do that all night.
I bet you have. I know. All right. So look here. We're at 2 hours and 11 minutes. I do want to show this video that I had. I essentially have you guys likes the Fantastic Four? Does anybody like the Fantastic Four here?
what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
who doesn't like the
Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four?
I know a lot of people who don't even know who the Fantastic Four are. And it fills me with such great displeasure that I
Disgraceful. Disgraceful.
I know. It's horrible. But the Fantastic Four are not quite possibly. They are by hands down the greatest superhero team of all time. They would murder the Avengers in real combat. That's just been shown in the comic books and is real. Anyway,
Israel.
in addition,
Whoa.
no,
Let's not bring up
disavow.
Israel. Let's not bring up Israel.
Disavow. We're not bringing up that subject, okay? We can talk about the Ukraine-Russia war. I'm not talking about that on my stream. No, sir.
I thought that's what you said. You said that
Nope.
We drove Peter to smoke again.
I was like, what? They fought him in.
Didn't even.
Give up. Can't help you anymore. That's it. You're on your own.
Seriously,
You're on your own.
I'm just joking, Peter. Seriously.
Oh, see, look what you did. You made Kami Mark leave because of your fucking comment about Israel. Now, Kami
Yeah.
gone.
Oh my God.
Gone.
I'm excited for Sabra.
Oh, this is
and
how I say
Captain
it with
America
me.
4. She's
Oh,
premiering in the next movie. Like, who is not excited
Okay,
about that?
so what we're going to do here is we're at 2 hours. So I know that people have been sitting here this whole time. I'm going to give people a bathroom break here for a second. But I'm also what I'm going to do is I'm going to play I made a video where we took there's a series. You might be able to see it right here. The World's Greatest Comic Magazine, and this was essentially a homage to Lee and Kirby's Fantastic Four run. This is a 12-issue series, and what I've been doing is I've been going through each issue, and I've been essentially voice acting and recording all that and like making it like a 60s cartoon. That's what my goal is, to make it like an old 60s cartoon. And my friend Stuart Johnson also happened to be on this, and he's the voice of Namor the Submariner in this one. So what I want to do is I want to show that show while we get to go take a piss real quick, maybe take a smoke. I have to take a smoke because I can't smoke inside. These British guys, they can smoke inside. They can roll their own fucking cigarettes and smoke inside. I can't do that shit. So it's been 2 hours. If you're a smoker, you understand.
Freedom.
2 hours is
That's
a long
freedom.
Yeah. Hey, Patty, I actually have to go if that's okay.
Wait, before you go, then I want to wait a minute.
Do you want me to stay for a little bit? Did you have something?
Well, I
planned?
don't want you to leave without showing some more of your stuff. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. I want to show at least one of your songs before you go. Here, hold on a second.
No.
If you had a choice,
do you want me to wait? Do you want me to wait for a minute?
Well, how
Like,
about
take a
like
break?
you?
no. Like if you've got to go, you've got to go. But I want to make sure at least I show one of your songs.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, play the song.
I like
while,
Murder of Crows,
into
but
the break.
yeah, let's show Murder of Crows.
Murder of Crows.
What is it?
or-
You're a singer? Like, explain yourself, sir. Like, you're.
Oh, okay.
What is your
Well,
music? I
yeah.
missed that. So like.
Sorry.
Now, is
Go
that
ahead,
Ben
Nico.
talking? Is that you, Ben?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm
Drawing.
a singer-songwriter. I was, a big comic book collector when I was young, and so that's kind of how I got into this because I'm starting to do a comic. But my main thrust has been, I was a high school teacher. I taught history, social studies, but then my main thrust, I would say, as a person, it was just going and was doing music. Like being a musician, singer-songwriter. I got to tour with Hall & Oates for about 50 shows.
What?
And, I got to play with Stevie Wonder. I got to play with Seal. I got to play, I got to do stuff on, not bragging or anything, but I'm just saying, like,
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, I got to open for Stevie. And
So you talked to Stevie Wonder.
You played
Like,
Maneater.
"What's going
I
on?"
did want to ask you this question
Yeah.
before, when we came on. You played Maneater many times, I assume.
Oh yeah. I covered it. And actually it was funny because like we played, and this was like a big culmination of like, kind of like what I'm saying about your comic. Like, isn't this fucking like the inner child and you going, this is so cool right now? And that was it for me when I got to go on tour with like Hall & Oates, because I loved them growing up, and
Yeah.
I think they're still to this day one
Nice.
of the most underrated bands of all time, as far as like making great pop songs. I don't care what anybody says, but like
Yeah.
it was one of those cool things where I was just supposed to play one show with them at the Greek in LA. No pressure, right? No band, just like acoustic guitar and vocals. But for whatever reason, it went well. And then John invited me to write songs with him. So we've written 3 or 4 songs together, and some stuff with Hall & Oates and everything. And then they brought me on tour, and then got to play 50 shows and stuff like that. So it was cool. But mainly the music industry is so fucked up though that it like didn't really work out as far as like making a living just doing music, right? It's I got to do some fun things, and I got to placements on film and TV and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, people are fickle. They don't really, I'm not super popular. I'm not super like cool or anything. I've never had the street cred of being the cool police. I'm from Portland, Oregon. They never really embraced me here. I was always kind of a.
You still live there?
No, I live about an hour away.
Okay.
But
the laws are maybe a little bit better.
Oh, it's way better where I live than it was. But like, I would say that either a Murder of Crows or like Fly Free would probably be the two that your audience would. I don't know. Fly Free might be cool because of the lyrics and the weirdness, and it's kind of an a cappella song with me hitting my chest. You know that one? Did you ever watch that one?
Well, no, I was listening to it last night with you, and that's why I thought that the one line, "I'm a bird, but I'm a fly free," I thought that was a great line.
Yeah. Do you think that one would be better, or do you think Murder of Crows would be better? Those are the two that.
Well, I think that Murder of Crows is a better song. if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I think you're
So
right.
I think we're gonna do Murder of Crows.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
just think it's a better song.
Cool.
But that's not to say the other one's not a good song. It's
No,
just
no,
saying
no. I like that.
Murder of
I
Crows a
like
little
your
bit
just
better.
honesty.
Yeah. But here, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Murder of Crows by Neon Thunderbird.
Maybe our personalities are just programmed anomalies. Are we artificial intelligence? Hybrid with alien relatives? Are these deeper questions that I've been asking these last 5 years? So that you and I can find our way home. Yeah, but what if all our wars are really alien video games? Programmed avatars because they like to blow the smithereens. And what if you and me these artificial things, angels without wings, in a murder of crows? Yeah, a murder of crows. Are we the gamers? Are we the game? Are we the dreamers? Are we the dream? Are we the bell? Are we the ring? Am I a robot programmed to sing? All these deeper questions have been asking these first 5 years, so that you and I can find our way home. Come on, what if all our wars are really alien video games? Programmed avatars, they like to blow the smithereens. What if you and me are these artificial things, angels without wings, and a murder of crows, and a murder of crows.
Oh, that was really good. Like, is
Oh,
that's
cool.
your singing? Like,
Oh,
Is that-
thanks, guys. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be like, oh, fuck, that sucks.
That's- well, you'll get there one of these days, there, Sonny.
Oh, dude, trust me. I've been on some shows where I'm like,
That-
oh,
That is fucking insane. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's you singing. Like,
Mhm.
that's
yeah. Thank you, man. That's.
fantastic.
You got a
Cool.
superb voice, dude.
I was
Superb.
honestly not sure how the reaction would be, so I'm really thankful that you guys liked it. To be honest, with you.
No, you're very talented. Like I can tell already. Like, and I like, as you know, I wouldn't consider myself nearly as close to like as advanced a musician as you are. Like I can just tell.
No, but you
like,
have
listening
something
to your
though,
stuff
bro.
and like
It-
knowing.
I
like,
could say
you're,
that
you're on a different level. Like I can like there's I've been around the block. Like I'm not saying I'm not good, but like you're on a different level, dude. You're
Oh well, you're very kind, but you have this Justin Timberlake thing about you. That's you're a good-looking kid. You have a great voice, like that. You know, I you got something there, kid. That's what I'm 53, so I can say it like that.
I could say if I have a problem where everything that I say sounds insincere, like an unenthusiastic, and I could say exactly the same word Patrick just said, and it would sound like an insult. What did he say? You're on a completely different level.
Oh
Like,
well, well, there's no need to compare, but I just appreciate. I'm glad it didn't go over like a lead balloon. I'm glad people liked it. That's all. Seriously, straight up. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mandy. You know what? Honestly, if I had $10 for every time somebody said that to me, I work at a car dealership and I work in service, which means I work with approximately 1,000 people a week. And if I had like $10 for every time somebody said this to me that I look like Justin Timberlake, I would actually be able to pay off my student loans.
Skinny little Justin Timberlake boy like you should work in a car wash or something. Like,
I know.
But if anybody,
get my shirt up in the back.
if anybody wants to check it out, just my website's right there under my name tag. You just go to my website, everything's there. So I won't do any more promotion than that.
Cool.
But just check it out, and if you like it, cool. And if you don't, it's all good. Music is very subjective, but like I just try to be honest and authentic, and like I try to blend things together as far as genres. I'm one of those guys that doesn't care about genre at all. I just don't care. And so that doesn't do well for you necessarily in marketing and like in terms of your bottom line monetarily, right?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So but I've always been that way, and I'm just going to stay that way for the rest of my days. But my next album is going to be the edgiest album that I've ever done. So it's going to be kind of like singer-songwriter meets AC/DC. So it's going to be like a real tight riff rock album, edgier and more up-tempo than anything I've ever done. And just a little bit less, a little bit less like, oh, my feelings, and a little bit more like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a little bit more Queen, a little bit more AC/DC, and mixed with kind of what I already do, singer-songwriter thing. So that's going to be my next album.
Yeah.
But I do have a kind of I guess you'd call it a greatest hits, even though most people wouldn't know who I am. But like over 25 years, I've done 25 songs that I picked, and for $25. So it's like 25 years, 25 songs, $25. If anyone wants to buy it,
that's great.
It's called Slow Burn because it took me 25 years to make the fucker. But like
that's a great title too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where is it that you're at?
I put the link in the chat here for his main website.
Oh, in Oregon.
The Neon Thunderbird website. The link I put directs you straight towards the music, but there's a million other tabs that you can choose.
And by the way, I apologize if I brought up any weird political things or something. I always get myself into trouble just being, just putting my foot in my mouth and stuff. But you guys are fucking awesome, and like the talent on this panel, like and you included, Patty.
There's nothing you can bring up on this
Peter,
stream that would offend me.
Okay.
So you've not brought up anything like when people say like you can't offend me, like the only way you could offend me is by directly attacking.
Yeah.
Like the only way you could defend me is by making like really, really horrible jokes about abortion. I think that's the only thing you could do that would actually really.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Peter,
don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Yeah.
Now he knows my weakness.
Wait, what were you saying about the Satanic Church and Peter? Hold on, I want to know. No, just kidding.
Just Google Peter Gilmore. You'll see what the joke is.
Okay.
Peter Gilmore's got a hard on for Margaret Sanger.
Do you guys know what's his name? Mark Passio. That's an interesting character.
No.
Fucking weird. Okay. Well, if you have a chance, look up Mark Passio. He used to be a priest for the Church of Satan, and then is now kind of like on the red-pilled side of things and stuff.
Right.
And it's fucking good. He's a trip, man.
Yeah, basically the head of the Satanic Church is Peter Gilmore.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
We talked about that last week. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I get DMs from people trying to find him.
And do you really?
Dude, your comic art is sick. Hail Satan, bro.
Do you really, Peter?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
Your art is fucking spectacular. The stuff I saw.
Well, that's the thing. He's an
is.
artist as well,
It is.
Oh,
and he kind of looks a little
He
bit
is.
like me.
That's crazy.
It's
so
bizarre.
funny, though.
And he's a musician.
He
and
also
all
happens
this,
to be an
so-
artist. Oh, that's so funny.
I actually know quite a few Satanists and have throughout my life, and because I grew up in Portland, and Portland, by the way, is a stronghold for Satanism. It actually is, and so is Seattle. What did I miss?
You were like, I actually also know a lot of Satanists because I grew up in Portland.
I mean, dude, it's a nest.
Wait, do you know Jeff Burke?
No.
No.
That's
He's-
hilarious.
I don't think he's necessarily a Satanist. But
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's no, but I mean, in the music industry, like you can't be in the music industry for 25 years without rubbing shoulders with all these guys. Like
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
it's not just like, oh, we're just trying to be like edgy and cool and we're a metal band, and no, it's like a real thing. It's like a real thing. It's not a
Not
joke or anything. But
Mhm.
like yeah, and some people are cooler than others within that context. But like it's pretty dark, and I would suggest people going independent and not even fucking with the music industry. You know?
Yeah. No. Mhm.
You know, just from 25 years experience, I just like don't do it. You know what I mean? But
Neon,
anyway,
before you go, can I try to impress you enough to put you as one of your? I want to be your opener for your.
yeah, let's do
on
something.
last night's
Man. Let's a
stream,
live stream
You
thing.
said that they're like, well, somebody had mentioned that a live stream for like online would be really cool, and I was wondering
Yeah.
if I could show you this and ingratiate myself to you.
I already saw
guys-
like two of your videos.
Well, you've seen like the
But yeah, show it.
Frank
Fuck it.
Sinatra stuff.
Yeah.
This was my band from back in the day.
Oh, is this an original? Wait, time out. Is this an original? or
yeah, this is an original.
Oh,
This is an original song that I wrote completely, entirely by
cool.
myself. This
very
is,
cool.
and also for those artists, those musicians who care about these things, this is the third version of the song.
Okay.
Whoops. The band is now defunct, but like I love my music. You know what I mean?
I like it already.
Your yellow skirts around your legs. The windows down, the music loud, our voices hoarse from screaming out the words we know by heart. What wasn't yours when you closed my door and let me take you home? But I won't apologize for speaking.
That's not the same the Boston the comic, is it?
What's it mean that you and I are intoxicated?
Yeah.
But it's never been the right time, he said. And yet here we are again and again. I wish we would finally learn our lessons. Maybe you and I are more than just you and I. The glistening of your soft brown eyes snaps me back to life with stomach turn. To me, was she gripping your heart inside her hand? Is there nothing left to say? 'Cause I can't fabricate a version of this.
Yeah.
But it's never been the right time, he said. And yet here we are again and again. If you never come back home, I miss you. But for now, I'll tell you what. I'm leaving town. I'm leaving town. I'm leaving town. It's never been the right time, you said. Yet here we are again and again.
Dude, thank you for being
Nice.
good. Yeah, thank you for being good, because that would have put me in a really weird spot if it sucked. Like, I'm fucking serious, dude. Like, thank you, God, for being good. I would have just been in a weird heat, like the hot chair. But like, dude, I love it. And yes, you can open for me. And yes, let's do it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
love stuff like that.
Well-
And I love that song in particular. And I think your voice is great. And you come off really cool as a frontman. It reminds me of really good times in the early 2000s, Blink 182, Alien Ant
Yeah.
Farm, Bowling for
Mhm,
Steel,
mhm.
Green Day. I fucking
Yeah.
love that
Then he
shit.
says Sum 41. I like that
Sum
reference.
41.
a
I
lot.
like I
that
love
a lot.
melodies, and I love rock. I love guitar. So I'm a big fan of guitar. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with keyboard, but my thing is guitar
Mhm.
for sure. Like, so I love what you're doing, and I fucking thank you for being good and making it so much easier for me to, say peace out and really mean it,
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Neon Thunderbird. Everybody go look at his
Hell yeah,
page
man.
here. I shared it before, but I'm gonna post it in the chat one more time. Everybody go check his stuff out. Buy his album. It's only $25 for the 25 years worth of work that he's been doing here. So everybody go check that out. Thanks again, Neon, for coming on. I really appreciate it, dude. We didn't talk about Antarctica or some other things that we could talk about, but
Let's do that next time, though. Let's have another
stream.
I was gonna
That's
say
right.
let's do it again. And the whole Admiral Byrd thing and the whole
Yes.
he's my I'm related to him directly.
All
and
of
stuff.
that
I feel like there's some
stuff, dude.
cellular memory there. I feel like there's some shit that
Look,
we'll
we'll
have
have a
two.
long conversation about that when the time comes.
Yeah,
So,
let's have part 2 for sure.
thank you.
You guys, super cool panel. I really appreciate it. And peace out, brothers.
Thank you, sir.
man.
Have a good night.
Hell yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. So I do
There you
need to
go.
take a piss and I want to smoke a cigarette. So what I'm going to do here is does
Oh,
anybody
actually,
else need to leave? Does anybody else need to head out?
No.
Okay.
you know
So what I'm
what?
going to do here is I'm going to
Let
play.
me.
Go ahead.
I gotta switch because my phone's gonna die. So you'll just let me on my other
Drop out,
thing in.
drop back in.
Yeah, I'll come
Okay.
back in when
I'm gonna go do my thing. So if it's not instant, just know that that's why. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna play.
Hang on,
the
before
folks
you
who-
run away. Before you run away,
Go
I am
ahead.
gonna leave.
Go
I
ahead.
have to be up in 4 hours. Going to a museum.
I understand, dude. Thank you so much already for coming out, Kami Mark, dude. I really appreciate it. I know it's super late over there. Peter Gilmore, I don't really care about how late it is for him. He's kind of
It's the same time.
It's just exactly.
I know, but
yeah.
I don't really care about how he feels. I'm saying I care about how you feel. So I want to say thank you, Mark, for coming out.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Good luck with your campaign. Keep on trucking. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. It always sounds insane.
Yes, sir.
sex sells easier.
No, it's fine, dude. I love when you come on. It's great. It's fantastic. You're really a breath of fresh air. So anytime you want to come on, dude, I'd love to have you on.
Yeah, I'm always happy to come on and disagree with things that people say. Because we're allowed to do that because we're not fighting.
Yes,
on
we
fight.
are. We are
Hey.
allowed to do that.
Bye, everyone.
Peace out, Kami Mark. Have a good one, dude.
Thank
All
God
right,
he's
ladies and
gone.
gentlemen. Right, finally. God, now I can talk candidly
Ah.
about feminism.
Thank God.
No, I sometimes I wonder. Like earlier, I said like those fucking Marxists, and I like looked over at Commie Mark to see like what his response would be. And
It's,
he didn't
he's
have a
used to it.
response. Just-
No, we give
yeah,
him so
he's
much.
just like straight faced about it.
Yeah, we give him so much shit about it all the time. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. So let me play this here. I like look, folks. If you're a cigarette smoker, you know 2 hours and 30 minutes, 36 minutes now. It's miserable. I have to go smoke a cigarette. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. Okay. So I'm gonna play this here. This here is a the Fantastic Four. And if you don't know who the Fantastic Four are, is go fuck.
The formidable foursome face to face with the sinister secret of the century. Just to show you the FF aren't in the middle of a brawl all the time, we take you to aisle 7. Is rice on the list, Chris?
Everything is on the list, Johnny.
Blasted mad thinker's screwy android
put the
wrecked
other
the
thing
whole
on
blaming
there.
kitchen, along with everything else in the Baxter.
What are you doing?
Wow, the thing. I wonder how many carts it
There
takes
you
to
go.
keep that going.
Well, according to Reed, someone let the thinker's android loose to ambush us when we got back.
And Reed suspects some
Okay,
equipment
hold on.
was
See, that's I
stolen
had to
rather
switch
than
over to my
destroyed.
computer, so now I'm on
Reed
the.
says this, Reed says that. Sheesh. Man, those apples look good.
There we go.
Ben, we can just buy a bag of apples. You'll upset the whole stack.
I see the one I want. You
We
were
should have
saying,
told him to
wise
turn
guy?
it down a little bit.
Well, they could have fallen, Crystal.
Oh, happy home and ruins. You're worried about me bruising some apples.
You almost sound disappointed they didn't fall, Johnny.
What?
That's more like my buddy Benji.
What do you give yourself a hot foot, flame brain?
It is amusing, Ben.
Amusing. It's a comedy riot.
You little...
Excuse me, you folks are with the Fantastic Four, right?
That's us all over, mister. What can we do for you?
A flare with the number 4 inside has appeared in the sky.
That's Reed. Put it on our tab, Buster. We gotta save the world again.
The apples as well? Oh!
Yeah, Ben already made most of them into pie filling. You know the address.
Could this be the threat Reed is anticipating?
I'm hoping he just needs help opening a ketchup bottle. We're never that lucky. The Baxter Building, New York headquarters of our 4 famous heroes.
What's up, Brains? You got a line on that creep who busted my Sinatra records?
I believe so, Ben. I cobbled together a device from the scant materials left intact by our mysterious vandals.
Reed's been working nonstop.
There was little option, Sue darling. Time is a factor here. The android doppelgangers we encountered while returning from the Hidden Land were made from Puppet Master's radioactive clay. I can trace their unique energy signature. I've pinpointed the Mad Thinker's lair to this location in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. We'll leave immediately. Crystal, I want you to remain behind. There may be more to this than meets the eye, and we need someone to monitor things from here.
But what will I do here alone?
You can unpack the groceries, girlie, and make sure you put my nutty buddies in the freezer right away.
Let's be careful, everyone. I'm not one for unfounded theories, but my intuition tells me this mission is far from a simple reconnoiter.
In plain English, Stretcho, you got the whim-whams.
My brother-in-law's right, you big ape. Even with no one home, the Thinker's Pad is going to be dangerous.
And there is the possibility that the latest attack was not the work of the Thinker, Johnny.
Boy, ain't we the sunshiny bunch this morning.
At the same moment, in a remote county in upstate New York,
One can only wonder what the purpose of such a mechanism.
it is not our place to wonder. It is only our place to serve.
Doom wishes these devices in place as soon as possible.
Secure each and make certain it is connected to an adequate power source. Many of these materials are unstable. One mistake could mean disaster. And should we survive that, the slightest error will bring upon us the wrath of the Master.
How can we work efficiently under such pressure? Under the shadow of death? The Master expects too much of us.
Is that so, lackey?
Huh?
We meant no offense, Master.
As though one so insignificant as you could offer Victor Von Doom offense. Your words are less to me than the chirruping of insects. But fail to have ready the machine stolen from me by that preening Richards, and you will envy those same insects. One misstep, one single miscalculation, and all my dark designs for the accursed Fantastic Four could fall asunder. And then my scorn would fall upon your heads like steel rain.
The revenge-driven Doom enters another chamber in his vast laboratory.
How proceeds the restoration of the Sentry?
By my projections, it is nearly 100% operational. An amazing creation. Obviously built by intellects far greater than our own.
Bah! Speak for yourself, Thrall. Doom bows to no intellect, alien or otherwise.
I can see it dead ahead, gang.
Are we there yet?
Relax. We're nearing the Thinker's lair, man.
Relax, he says.
What's left of it?
Looks to me like one of his kooky gizmos went bluey on him.
His lair. It's in ruins.
This only serves to convince me that the attack on the Baxter building had nothing to do with the Thinker's plans. There is another mind at work here.
Oh, Reed, if it's not the Puppet Master or the Mad Thinker who destroyed our home, then who could it be?
You got a month, Susie? I'll write you a list of our favorite enemies.
The truth is far more sinister than any of the fabulous foursome suspect.
The Sentry reached its target in less than an hour, my liege.
It operates superbly, even at crushing depths. Atlantis, home to my one-time ally, shall prove a worthy test for this alien war machine.
What is this?
What enemy strikes at us now?
Who will protect us when Atlantis' mightiest warriors fall before this monster like children?
Not Atlantis' mightiest warrior by far, lady.
Prince Nabal, Atlantis is besieged.
Who dares?
The surface dwellers. Who else possess such gall? They shall pay for this treachery at the hands of the avenging sun. Too many times have I raised my people's hopes only to see them dashed by the air breathers. Namor says, no more! This creature is a formidable one, but none may stand before my power. Witless being, you tread where Namor rules supreme, and his power is unmatched! By the depths, a robot of some kind. I barely scratched its surface. I will follow him and learn who is his master.
But the Prince of the Seven Seas isn't aware that he's being followed.
As I suspected, you are the creation of land dwellers. Once again, Atlantis is the victim of the broken promises of those who live above the waves. That will not save you, machine. Even above my beloved ocean waters, I am unvanquished. You will be destroyed.
Wow!
Did you see that?
That's that submariner guy. Skipper?
I see it, Mr. Henry. Ocean Queen to anyone. We are in distress. Repeat, Ocean Queen.
We'll head back home. We've learned all we can from the remains of the Thinker's lair. Suits me, Reed. I miss Chris already. And speaking of your paramour...
Reed, there's a situation you should know about. The Submariner is battling a giant robot on the shores of Bermuda. There are innocent people in danger. Namor.
Changing plans, people. We are going to check this out. We're going to Bermuda, and me without my shorts. South by Southeast, Johnny.
What's old Fish Face up to now?
Only battling for his life, Blue Eyes.
Yield! Yield, I say! What manner of creation dares defy me thus?
The Kree-created automaton, known simply as the Sentry, hurls Namor skyward.
Such strength as I have never encountered!
To impact with thunderous force against a mountainside, causing an avalanche that buries the avenging sun beneath tons of rock. And as the Sentry continues its unerring advance... Holy cats! It's a Sentry, Reed!
Does that mean those Kree slobs are back?
Careful, son. As the reckless Human Torch nears the spaceborne machine, his flame is snuffed out by a hurricane blast of air. Ah! Flame's dying. Can't stay aloft. Flame off.
Nobody hurts that little hothead, you crumb bum. That's my job. The ding-blasted gadget caught my haymaker. Ugh.
The Kree designed this sentry to withstand greater force than we can bring to bear. If only I can restrain it. It's Namor. The sentry entombed him within that rock slide. Sue, see if you can free him. Ah! The strain is too great. Losing resiliency.
Dear Lord, that weight will crush the life from even someone of Namor's strength. I must release him. But even if I do, will he be in any condition to aid us? And can I stand alone against the sentry if it so easily defeated Reed and the others?
Meanwhile, far below the ocean's waves. Clear this rubble. I must enter the royal chambers.
Yes, Lord Vashti. The Imperial Palace is a little damaged, my lord.
Still, I am concerned. This attack was so sudden, and the attacker departed so swiftly with our liege in pursuit. Perhaps this was a diversion or a trap, or... Just as I feared, this act of aggression was to conceal a greater evil. Something entrusted to this palace's protection has been stolen. Woe be to Atlantis.
Must keep expanding my invisible force field. Must remove the burden from... Namor!
I live! What's more, I am free! No force on Earth or beneath its waters may long confine me. My thirst for vengeance is too great.
Here I was worried about him. I forget that he's one of the few beings on Earth that can battle the Thing to a standstill.
This day will be the last for this cursed mechanism that presumes to vanquish Namor. This I swear.
Are you all right, Namor?
Fear not for me, Susan Richards. Save your concern for your husband and comrades. Namor enters the fray. This madness ends now.
Melt the ground beneath his feet, Johnny. We can topple it. Will do, Reed. Johnny, it's taking all of my will to hold it. A few more seconds and...
I am at your side, Richards.
Well, look what the tide washed up.
It's wavering, Namor. You damaged it.
I will do far more than that.
Save some for me, Tone of Breath. I've been saving my best wallop for him.
Slow down, Ben.
You slow down, Hot Pants. I'm having too much fun.
I've caught it in a kind of slingshot, Ben. While my elastic body absorbs the force of the impact, you and Namor position yourselves for a knockout blow. There.
An admirable...
Oh.
It's over. Are you still there, Peter?
I'm still here.
I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear anything over the
You sound
Fantastic Four
dismayed,
thing.
Richards.
Now we'll
Oh,
never
yeah.
learn who sent it, Namor.
It attacked Atlantis.
Damn it, Namor!
Then, just as abruptly, came to this island.
My liege, I bring dire news. Your trumpet
My
is
liege.
stolen. The most precious of all Atlantean relics is in unknown hands.
I've been played the fool?
You know,
think
did
we
you
may
see
all-
what Mr.
This is
Self
no
Destruct is talking?
isolated
Oh
event.
wait, how was
Whoever
that?
sacked the Baxter building and made off with our
How is that?
inventions
Is he
and
back?
those who
How is
stole
that
the
even
Atlantic
highlighted? I
may
can't
be
do that,
one
can
and
I?
the
I don't think
same.
so.
No.
Unless we discover who that is, I'm afraid the worst lies ahead of us. Join us next
Unless-
time,
is
True
that
Believers.
Oh.
Can I do that as a
Hey,
What cartoon is that
Alright,
background
keep
music
going.
from? That background music.
yeah.
Because that's ingrained.
That's this the '60s Spider-Man TV.
That's
show.
it. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why.
Dude, I've used so
Ingrained
much
in my
from that
brain.
show. It's one particular composer who does. I think his name is. I don't remember what his name is. I want to say Ellis something, but like he did the Star Trek show as well, and that I also used music
Yes.
from that show.
There you go. That's the other one I recognize. Yep, yep.
But yeah, it's like
Haha.
classic 60s cartoon. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going
Yeah.
for. I love the 60s feel, and like trying to recreate it is so much fun for me. But eagle-eyed or eagle-eared viewers will note that I've used several Metal Gear Solid sound effects.
Yeah, yeah. The communicator. Yep, yep.
Yes, yes, yeah. I'm glad you noticed. I'm glad you noticed.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah. And also, like, so I did all of those characters' voices with the exception of some of Doom's thugs and Namor, and well, some random characters, like some random like NPCs, if you will, and Namor.
Yeah.
Namor was done by my friend Stuart Johnson, and he really knocked it out of the park. Like, I love his Namor voice, and a lot of, honestly though, I'd say his random people voices were even better. Like the one where the guy who's like I was the skipper, and he's like, I see it, Mr. Henry. That guy's voice is so great. It's so 60s.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. And that's like what the goal was for this. That's what the whole goal. I'm going to do all 12 issues. This is a whole 12 issue arc of an homage to Lee and Kirby, and I'm going to do the whole thing voice acting. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have random people on, like if you guys are down, I'd love to have you guys as random voices in the comic book as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. More people should get me doing voiceovers. I can do some cool stuff. I can do a mean Vincent Price as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna keep that in mind. That's awesome. What were you gonna say, Dr. Ben?
Yeah, saying like that's. I've got a few of my
Slow
some
down.
of my videos where I do the yeah, I talk too fast is my problem. I'm just a mile a minute. Like,
No, it's and sometimes people need direction on voice acting. I've found that, like, I'm not to toot my own horn, but like I would say that there's some certain things that I'm really good at, and singing I would say I'm pretty good at, and then voice acting I would say I'm really good at, because I know I'm more of an actor first than a voice actor. Like I did a lot of acting in high school and in college, so there's never in like never like Hollywood level stuff. Just like I was always a big fan of like the really like black box type performances. You know what I mean? Do you guys know what I mean when I say black box?
Why?
So like when you're in theater, there's a certain type of stage or theater itself that's essentially just like a black box. I know it sounds, but it's like the whole room is painted black. The floor is painted black.
Yeah.
The chairs for the audience are set up in a actual square. So like they're surrounding the people who are performing the play. Does that make any sense, Dr. Ben?
Yeah.
Like
so
it's like theater in the round.
Exactly. It's legitimately just like a box, a black box of a room. And in that box, you have the seats set up around it so that the performers perform in the middle, and all you have as your set is just the black box. And
I know what you mean.
so
Yep.
that's the way I've always like gone at acting. I've always like, it doesn't even matter if you put a set around me. I would just be like, we're in a black box and I'm imagining where we are right now. And that's the only thing that matters, because I'm reacting to what I think is occurring. And so, and if you have a good imagination, a black box is like that way of thinking about acting is helpful for you, because you can just kind of ignore the things that don't quite fit with what's going on in the story. So that's the way I write all my characters too. Is it just like they're put in a black box, and that like they all have backstories. I was gonna try to make like a character introduction video so I could show it tonight, but I just did not have enough time, so I could not make it. But it'll the beginning of this. This is the beginning of the campaign, so there'll be plenty more time to show it.
Launching a campaign. Launching a campaign, there's never enough time to get everything done. Never. Never.
Never, dude. There's so many things you realize you have to do last minute. that you're like,
I mean,
fuck, I've
we-
got to do that now.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of them, and almost every time I end up having to do something like, you know, on the day or the night before, or yeah, there's always something I think I've done and I haven't. That's me not saying Mandy's forgetting to ask me to do stuff. That's me. That's me. Me.
Right. Well, here, let's see here. Let me bring this up here. But anyway, the whole point of that Fantastic Four video was to recreate the 60s feel of the cartoon, because my parents were very conservative. So when they raised me as a child, like, I didn't watch the things that were modern. I watched the old shit. And so all those old 60s cartoons, that's the kind of stuff that I grew up on. And so I'm kind of like a kid who was raised in, I guess you could say I'm like a kid who's raised in the 70s because of the media that I was allowed access to.
So like me then, who actually was.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of people will be like, they'll be surprised by my interest or knowledge in things that they're interested or knowledgeable about.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
I really love my favorite entire music scene
Sorry,
is
go
the
on.
Seattle Sound, you know, like
Yeah.
Soundgarden. Soundgarden is my favorite band of all time. I think I told you this before. This is Chris Cornell's autograph on a ticket I got in 2015 when they got back together. Because you understand, I was in high school. Soundgarden had not been a band since 1996, and I knew that number exactly because they're my favorite band of all time. And then one day, it's almost like I liked them a lot and I willed it to happen. That's sometimes how I feel about it. Like, I'm so lucky that it happened, but that's how I loved them so much. And I was like, boy, it'd be great if Soundgarden got back together. And then 2012, boom, they're back together. They're touring. It's like, I feel too lucky sometimes when things like that happen. But anyway, they did. I got Cornell's autograph. Soundgarden, so that whole Seattle sound, that's what I love. But anyway, Peter, you were saying, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I when I was a kid, I lived for that old Spider-Man cartoon and the Star Trek one, and there was an amazing Tarzan cartoon at the same time, and just all that stuff was fantastic. And then you look at the stuff that kids nowadays have got, and it's like, oh, you poor bastards.
Yeah, total trash.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because without being explicit, because you as like the CG king of horror, you know what explicit is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But without being explicit, those old shows would still present kind of adult ideas to children.
Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't spoon-fed anything, and they didn't coddle. Yeah. It was.
Yeah, and they'd give them adult responses to those adult things, but it was still a children's show, and it still wasn't too heavy, and it wasn't too dark. You know, it wasn't like depressing at all.
No, not at all. I mean, when you watch them again now, though, you do notice that all those shows, I mean, they're all made by the same company, you know, pretty much. So the music, the crossovers in the music, the sound effects and stuff, like some of the backgrounds on the cartoons, you're like, wait a minute, that jungle there was in that the other week. What?
Yeah.
And there was also like big crossovers with stuff like that with old cartoons, like the original Scooby-Doo cartoons, and that got used. The sound effects and the music got used in a lot of other like cartoons at the time. Yeah. Which is do you know of a
one of my
show?
favorite shows ever. Do
you know of a show called Dark Shadows?
Yeah.
So because Dark Shadows started off. It was basically a kind of soap opera about. It was something. It was involving a murder, and then they just went completely off the rails, and it got there was a vampire in it. He was like the main character. there was like werewolves and all witches and all kinds of shit. It just went completely bonkers, and it showed for. It's all on YouTube. You can get it all on YouTube. It's like 2,000 episodes.
That's pretty cool. Just
It was like every day. Every day it was on for like years and years and years.
It is a
And
good
that,
show.
and it always opened with a picture of the house where, you know, the big mansion house that was in it. And it's the same house at the start of Scooby-Doo, the
Mhm.
cartoon. It's exactly the same house, but they redo it, and like the vampire character from Dark Shadows pops up in Scooby-Doo, and a lot of the sound effects, a lot of the incidental music is the same
Yeah.
between Scooby-Doo and Dark Shadows. It's
Uh-huh.
wild.
Wow.
I guess the company's just owned the rights to the music. So
Dude,
they
I've
just-
got to watch Dark Shadows then, because Scooby-Doo is one of my favorite shows from back then.
It's
My grandpa
it's-
used to record it on the VCR and like give it to me every
but
week.
it was all filmed. It was all shot live. Dark Shadows was. So
Yeah.
you get wobbly sets. You get people forgetting the lines. You get people just making stuff up on the spur of the moment. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic viewing.
It is like it's like spooky. Like it's got that weird vibe to it. Like he's saying like about like murders and like all kinds of
Yeah, it's and some of it's pretty dark as well, pretty scary. And
Mhm.
considering it was on kind of, as far as I know, when it was first broadcast, it was on kind of 6, 7 o'clock in the evening or something like that. As far as I know, and it's
Right.
some of it was for
Mhm.
small children. That must have been terrifying.
You know what else
Yeah.
is dark and scary, but also fantastic? Super Dead 2, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what we're gonna do here. I've been waiting to do this because I want to do this on everybody's. I want to do this on everybody's campaign, but I don't want to insult them while they're here. But Peter already insulted me earlier in the stream. I think
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe
I'm gonna act like he did, so that I'm gonna go ahead and
Possibly.
take advantage of that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little voiceover thing here. So let's see here. Welcome back, Indie Go-Go Baggers. This is Campaign to Fund Super Dead issue number 2. 48-page full-color graphic novel. Created and written by Mandy Summers. Interior artwork and colors by Peter Gilmore. This cover C is by Dale Keown. You may not have heard of him. Nobody really knows about him, but he's up and coming. He's pretty good. The story continues. After taking his revenge on the city that had forgotten him, Devour rests upon a throne of bones and corpses. But revenge is not enough. He must search for the true reason his powers were taken, causing his mutation, and many foes still stand in the way of the answers he seeks. Super Dead will forever tie into Gemshock and other upcoming adventures for this universe. Mackenzie Ferreira, Gemshock, has left Lakewood Valley and searches for help in Devour's homeland, New Astoria, to defeat Sever and Afterlife once and for all. She believes she's looking for a hero and is sure to find more than enough troubling along the way. Don't miss
Mhm.
Super Dead 2. Now look at this, folks. Check out these. I'm gonna go back to being normal because I can't not be. This is beautiful. This Gemshock cover here. Beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Look at this stuff. So what's that?
What?
That's a nice looking picture there of that lady.
Oh, I thought you said something.
She mighty pretty. Y'all.
Yeah, she mighty pretty. Holy smokes, y'all. She's mighty pretty.
Like Peter's just got that like
And then look, folks, this is my favorite page that I've seen so far. I love this shit. The moon. Oh my gosh, the moon. Like I said before, the moon is a character in Phenomenon, so it's nice to see the moon represented in other stories. You know what I mean? The moon, like you don't have to pay royalties for the moon.
No,
You can just
exactly.
use it whenever you want.
I have to stop myself from doing it because I put that. The moon's a very cool thing to put in the background of anything, you know, and it's a nice sort of like compositional.
Yes, it is.
It
Yes,
is,
it
and
is.
I really have to stop myself doing it because I do it way too much. So I just have to find other.
Do you find you do it and then you're like, oh, wait a minute.
I've done that already. Yeah, yeah.
Do you find when you've done it and you're like, oh shit, that's the wrong angle. The moon's over here now.
Oh no, I always plan everything out. I used to like draw like little maps out and stuff, but it's all in my head now. but I know which direction the light's coming from in every scene.
Gotcha.
It's all dialed in. So yeah, getting pretty good at that. And then
That's good. That's
yeah.
super important. Super important. Everybody forgets that, but it's like incredibly important because whether you know it, whether you realize it or not, people are going to realize it. Like they're going to be taken out of something if they unconsciously realize that the physics don't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, the light was behind him before. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this shit. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh my God.
I like that one. I do like that nun. That nun's cool. She needs her own book, definitely.
This one right here.
Yeah. I mean, she's not a massively important character in this, but you know, I'm sitting there drawing it, and it takes a long time to draw this stuff, so I've got plenty.
But
of time
it's a great design.
For my mind to start wandering,
dude.
So I'm like, I mean, she's literally just in a few pages, but in my head, I'm like, right, this is who she is. This is why she's like this, and I've invented a whole thing, and I'm completely wrong. I'm just making it all up, and it's like Mandy will turn around and say, no.
Like you think of like why they look like something, and then that's why you're like, okay, so they're got it. And like it doesn't matter if like the next image is like a completely contradictory, or not like completely contradictory, but you know what I'm saying, like the
mind wanders while you're doing these things. Mine does that. Mind wanders all the time because I'm old.
Oh, that's not going to pick that up, is it? Oh, it might.
Dude, it's so cool.
What have you drawn there, sir?
I'm working on my Eric July portrait.
Oh,
it's getting there. It's getting there. It's got to do a lot of.
Yeah, you were working on that last time, weren't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've got just like a bunch of different little bits and pieces, and then like I had to finish the ripperology thing, ripperologist, whatever. I had to finish that thing real quick, and so I put the. No one has commissioned me.
I feel like your style's a lot about like texture. Like you do a lot of like really great texture work, especially for hair, and like stone things. And I feel like your pieces. It's one thing when it's instantly created within like 2 hours or so, but when you get the time to like put all that texture in, I feel like it's different entirely. You know what I mean? It's like much more. There's a lot more to look at when all that texture's in there. It's like, ooh, you know.
You gotta let them breathe for a while. Like you gotta like.
Yep.
And like, I've got the luxury to be able to do that. So I'm like, okay, like I've got, like I can't really detail it due to my legal complications that are always suspect, but.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like I have the opportunity to do different things now that like I wouldn't have otherwise. So it's like, well, like I can like just kind of do this and that and put a bunch of stuff. Like I did the would you read the my Swamp Thing article? Like it's not long. It's like 200 words or something. Like, but it's in the. I think it's
for sure, but if you send it to me, you guys send it to me beforehand so I can practice it. You know what I mean?
Well, I can show you. Like, you want me to bring? I could.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, hold on. I can
just what we should do is you should send it to me, like the pictures of it, and then I'll practice it, and then we can do it. Because I'm like, sometimes I have to practice things. You know what I mean?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can read it, like, too. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it would be cool. Like, like maybe if I read it, you'll see what I'm saying to help you in your performance. Does that make sense? Am I putting you on the spot? Like I'm not trying to.
Yeah. Well, put it in the private chat. Put it in the private chat, and I'll share it.
Oh wait, what did I do? I put something over
You
there.
did?
What did I do? Or or that's what I'm saying. Or I can just do presentation.
Oh wait, is it so? This article here?
Yeah, I could just do that.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. I can present it here. I got it.
Okay.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Why won't DC Comics finally release the controversial lost issue of Swamp Thing issue number 88? What is the problem with Swamp Thing issue number 88? Why is it a controversial comic book that DC Comics to this day still won't publish? Why would some consider it to be somehow against Christianity? Okay, look. But be careful here, Dr. Ben. Swamp Thing issue 88 was to be part of the conclusion to Rick Veitch's run on the series, in which he had succeeded noted British writer Alan Moore, never heard of him, who has had his big breakout success with the comic. At this point in the story of Swamp Thing, he was traveling backward in time, ending up in a time of Christ almost 2,000 years ago. The issue portrays Jesus and refers to him as the Nazarene, though there is nothing I noticed that is particularly blasphemous on my end of the unpublished script. We need to look back at the other comics culture events of the time to understand this story better. As an avowed and dissident Christian, I'm going to say that if I find something blasphemous, I'm going to say it. I'll still read all this shit.
Yeah.
I'm a performer. I know how performance works. When Swamp Thing 88... Look, you see, I'm committed to my art. Do you understand? When Swamp Thing 88 was initially scheduled to be printed and published, it was shortly before the first Batman movie came out, way back in 1989. DC Comics was already dealing with a controversy stemming from casting choices from the Batman movie. At the time, many fans and comic book professionals considered Michael Keaton's playing Batman to be a bad decision, and there was an early fan protest surrounding the situation. It's kind of funny to me. I've always thought of him as Batman to a degree, because I'm so young, you know what I mean?
I know he's Batman. He's not,
Adam West Batman.
Adam West. Yeah, Adam West is the classic Batman.
Damn straight.
The prospect of also having a potentially inflammatory Swamp Thing comic printed must have been too much for the The prospect of also having a potentially inflammatory Swamp Thing comic printed must have been too much for the comic book publisher. The editors demanded the story be pulled, and Rick Veitch responded by quitting, leaving his last issue, 87, and the story in progress unfinished. So why does an unpublished Swamp Thing comic from 30 years ago matter? That's for you readers to decide, because an email address has been set up, which is reported to be monitored, or at least will be sent to DC Comics. Rick Veitch himself alerted his fans to his email campaign, and I have emailed the address in hopes of receiving some additional emails, though I have yet to receive a response. In case you would like to add your voice or... This guy, okay, all right. What do you think of Swamp Thing 88 from... Wait, it doesn't show anything from Swamp... You kidding me?
Just the cover at the bottom.
I read all that.
Below that.
Did not read anything from Swamp Thing 88? This is it?
You want to see the script too? I can get the script if you want. Just you see the one picture, right?
This cover doesn't offend me all that much.
No, see, that's the thing. Is that it doesn't really, but it's like also at the same
Maybe
time. Yeah. But I mean, if they print it, that'd be cool. But at the same time, you have the I don't know how much I agreed with the thing they were saying with Tom King and Wonder Woman or whatever. If that was, they were saying that was offensive, and probably, I would assume it is. But that's what I'm saying. Like I felt it was just something. I mean, other people had announced it, and I figured just kind of like amplify, put it out into the world. Like what's wrong with if the first time someone hears about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is because they read a Swamp Thing comic, and then they say, "What? Jesus Christ?" And then they go and read the Bible. They want, what? Is there any scripture? There's, like, if that's what it is.
But the more important question is, like, I've not read Swamp Thing issue 88. I have no idea what the Christian symbolism means within the context of the comic book. I'd have to read the comic book to know. But from this picture alone, I would say all this is doing is because the cross is a symbol. It's a symbol of self-sacrifice for the greater goods of others. So what this is Swamp Thing being on a cross. It's just a symbol of Swamp Thing sacrificing himself for the good of others. So it's not like something that because Christ is not there on that cross right there. You know what I mean? So like it's not something that
I wonder.
I don't see why that would offend me. But if I read the comic, maybe I don't know.
I think it might maybe because you see how there's the 3 crosses in the background. Can you see that? I wonder if that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's a figure on the middle cross. So yeah.
Right. So I mean, and that's the thing too, is it's not like there's a prohibition. That's what I'm saying. Like plenty of other people have like done comics, and like Rick Veitch has said, like it's not. He doesn't portray him like in a bad. It's not like he's trying to do some sort of whatever. And that it was. I don't know if he said that he himself was a Christian, but like he offend anyone. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like now that
hang on.
This campaign for get it reprinted.
What does it say on the full head?
Ask the question, but they have issues where people are saying that it is something is offensive. Like I said, with the Tom King Wonder Woman one, you never see him have any.
There's something written on the head of the skull that's at the bottom of the cross. I wonder what that is. Unless it's
how can you fucking see that, dude? I can't even like. I don't even know how to zoom in. I don't know how you can see that shit.
You can't read it because it's too blurry, but I can tell it's something written there.
It might.
It's probably just.
I see what you're saying, though. That there was 3 crosses in the background, and there's a figure on one of them.
Yeah.
That does kind of like raise my eyebrow.
And
the thing is, like,
got all
I've
you've got all the wound marks.
Like I'm a Christian who's been around the block. I've been around people who don't. I've been around people who don't, believe that at all, and so at this point, like I've seen some really, like for any other religion would be like some fucking giant issue on the internet, of like, oh my God, they offended this religion in this way, kind of thing. It doesn't happen for Christianity. That's one thing I'll say is like when people shit on Christianity, nobody gives a shit about it, but they shit on Islam, or they shit on Judaism, or they shit on any other religion, and people lose their fucking minds. And it's like that thing annoys me, but like you can say which like people, this is the thing, is like I don't give a fuck. What you can try to offend me with my religion. You can try to like blaspheme Jesus Christ and all that, but I don't really care because like I mean, it's not
I don't think
it's going to be subject for what you've done. You know what I mean? Like you can do what you want to do. I'm going to be fine because I still believe what I believe. So like I don't know. And I'm not trying to preach to anybody about my religion. I'm just saying that's just how I feel. Like you can try to offend me by insulting God himself, and I good luck. Like it's not going to hurt me.
Yeah. Maybe well, see, I guess what I'm saying is it kind of, I wonder, should I be with, like I said, it's an odd, because this was, do you see the next articles? The next article down there, oh, you're not here. And it's not, I'm not trying to like,
where's he gone?
Okay.
Just removed himself from the stream.
Oh no. What happened? I was gonna try and present.
Sorry, my mouse accidentally. I went to go back to the page, and my mouse has like side buttons that made me back out. Sorry.
Well, so Peter, there's a fella, David Williams. You know him, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I don't mind. So that's what I'm saying is like we need to cover both sides of the story here. Like if they're going to be reprinting that, is that okay, or should that fall under I'm not, and like that's what I mean. It's like I consider myself a journalist. I like to make jokes.
Wait,
Try not to like take.
Can you specify what you mean when you reference David Williams? What do you mean? I think I'm out of the loop.
We can the artist, the cartoonist, our friend.
No, yeah, David. But like, what do you mean when you're referencing back to? I'm sorry. Just continue talking. I might just be confused. Go ahead.
Like he was saying that they should have a boycott because of the Tom King Wonder Woman comic, right? David, that's what I'm saying. Is like I definitely agree with them, sort of, but also I don't know.
I don't really pay any fucking attention to anything to do with mainstream comics anymore, so I don't know what the Wonder Woman thing is.
Well, you want me? I can read this. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to put Patrick on the spot, but I figure this is also on Fandom Pulse. This is also a news item.
No, go ahead. Like I saw I guess the stuff, maybe, who was it? Ethan was talking about it.
Yeah.
But like Peter, like I just, at this point, it's like, I know that anything that comes out from there is just going to be pure, utter, unadulterated bullshit. So I just don't even,
From Fandom Pulse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's JDA's website, isn't it?
No,
I'm joking.
It is.
I mean to say Marvel and DC. Anything that comes from Marvel and DC is going to be straight shit. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I guess. I mean, I suppose that's. But yeah, so this is David Williams. He's former Batman drawer.
Nice,
unbelievable.
Nice picture of Batman letting rip a huge fart,
dude.
Bat fart.
It's been a bad week for DC Comics. The extreme wokeness in the comic industry is catching up to them on every level, and now their own former employees are saying enough is enough. Former Batman artist David Williams declaring a boycott on DC Comics for its anti-Christian messaging. DC Comics has hated Christians for a while, promoting sinful lifestyles in its comics over the last several years. Books have been filled with LGBTQ propaganda aimed at children to try and convert them into these hedonistic lifestyles on behalf of the radical left. First, they turned Batman's sidekick Robin. But that's what I'm saying. I'll read through it. Like this, like I don't claim any agreement or disagreement. I like to cover the news.
No, I know.
Like with everyone.
I know.
So I mean, is it propaganda? Is it not?
Yeah.
This is what John Del Rosa asserts.
You might as well read through the whole article first, and then we can comment on it. Yeah. It's not your opinion; it's their opinion. We should just go ahead and finish. So I like to do this thing where like I comment while things are going on because I think I'm cheeky. But
like what I mean, if that's what I'm saying, like, do you think that's too far to say that they are promoting like propaganda or like?
Just
I mean, if that's,
I don't know.
You can always go back and pick people apart. You might as well finich the whole thing first, and then we can go back and.
Yeah, let's get so I actually know what the hell any of this is about. Because otherwise, I'm just randomly guessing that somebody's upset someone. Don't know.
Right. Well, so that's what I'm saying. I think if this is, let's see. So first, they turned Batman's sidekick Robin into a bisexual for a publicity stunt in 2021 that was met with fan derision. I believe that was the Tim Drake Robin, I think. Not being enough, they turned Superman gay and made him a climate change activist at the same time.
Well, I mean, they turned Superman's son.
Superman's son.
It's not Superman. It's not Superman.
Yeah.
And they did that. They had artists. They had artists.
But say
Superman has always been gay. Everybody knows that.
But well, he wears pansy red boots. You know, it's like Punisher
on the outside of his.
I don't like Superman at all. I'm a much more like Marvel fan than DC fan. I will make fun of like.
Oh no, I'm
Batman,
a big
Superman.
Big DC guy. I much prefer DC, but Superman is my least.
I knew there was
character.
something off about you.
Well, so that was But they did have. I mean, remember that was what Gabe LTA. He quit. He was. That's his beliefs is not.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's right or he's wrong, but I mean, if you're gonna have beliefs and say you're standing for something, did he make a publicity thing out of it? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, what else are you doing if you're in the public limelight, or not the public,
sure, but
like
he's not.
the comic?
He's not in the wrong for doing that. He did for
Right.
sure, but he's not in the wrong for that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Many people have kind of different. The lady that didn't want Frank Miller at the comic convention, right? She didn't want him there because she felt he was against Islam's or whatever. And he's not. He was like whatever, but that was her belief. That's okay. Fans thought nothing could be worse. the gay Green Lantern, Sheridan's. He was the one that was calling out Comicsgate too. He was he promoted the comic.
I think that even if you have an opinion, you shouldn't. It doesn't even if you said I don't like Islam, you should not be not allowed somewhere. Like, how does that make any sense? Because this is the thing: is when you actually ask, when you get down to the nitty gritty of what people actually believe, there's a million people out there who say things like, "Oh yeah, I'm all for all religions," but they're really not. If you ever ask a Muslim, like in your country, if Islam controlled the whole country, would you allow a Christian in, and would you allow the Christian to start preaching Christianity to Muslims? They would say, no, fuck no. We would never allow such a thing. And so it's a little weird to be like, I don't know, that we're going to possibly, dude, they literally get rid of Christians in Muslim countries, as well as other countries, which I can't say because there are things you're not allowed to say on the internet. People who know. But the point is that if you're in one religion, okay, you're not friends with, you're not friends, but the people who are in a different religion do not think the same way you do. They don't have the same ideology you do. They don't believe the things you do, and they don't think that those things are important to them. So to pretend like those people are your 100% true allies is a little ridiculous to me, I would say.
Well,
but anyway, this is a heavy conversation here. Let's
it is, yeah. It's all comics, guys. Comics.
Can we do this?
Can we scroll back up?
Comics, but look,
scroll back up. Let's see the picture of Wonder Woman. For God's sakes.
Scroll back up. Yeah, let's see her.
Let's see some Wonder Woman. Okay.
I do not believe you.
Oh, now it's just you put a man's voice on him. You put a man's voice on a woman there, and it's just creeped me out.
Yeah, you have.
Well, look at her body too, Peter. Have you noticed that her body's not very female either? Like, it's shaped somewhat in the female form, but like,
who drew this?
Does it really look very beautiful or? Yeah.
Who's the artist on this?
You can tell the neutering. You can see the neutering of the female form a lot of times in these new comic books.
I mean, yeah, but can I just point out though?
Her boobs and her.
The drop of blood that's running down from the edge of her nose that runs down. Yeah, don't do that because it just distorts her face and makes it look fucking weird. That's a fuck up.
Yeah,
sorry.
I think there's more pictures of her. I think. Hold on. Oh yeah, so that's what that's I mean, that's the whole point was that David is boycotting them.
Okay.
Are there other pictures of her? I thought there was another picture. Let me see if I can just.
Well, I'm sorry that I took your whole point and just kind of completely did an entirely different point about it because I've been drinking, so I apologize.
Huh? No,
Can we just get Wonder Woman back in the spangly hot pants, please? Can we just do that?
Right?
Just stop with this fucking armor shit and just put her in a proper costume.
Well, she's supposed to be tied up now with the lasso of lies. The lasso of lies. The other fella has. It's drawn by. Where did it go?
It's going to be someone I know now, isn't it? And I'm gonna
Well,
be
I
like,
mean,
"Dick."
come on. You have to admit at that point, if the dude who's a bad guy, who is a Christian, controls the lasso of lies, you have to admit there's some kind of like propaganda going on there.
Yeah, it's a bunch of kind of like subconscious, kind of like the normal, just sort of digs are like, oh, Christians, they're dumb, like it's not even because like that's the thing with his article. He's saying like he quotes a couple scriptures, and it's like supposed to be that she's being held captive by the lasso, so it's implying that the scriptures are lies. It's like it's kind of like this weird, like, okay, well, sorta, you know what I mean? Like it's.
I mean, you also have to. I mean, I've not read the whole. I'd have to read the whole story to see whether there's any credence to that, because
right.
certain people on the internet tend to be biased one way or the other, or tend to pick something and take it slightly out of context to get a good story out of it. And certain people are known for doing that. Who've written a certain article.
That happens.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Not that I'm shitting on JGA, but a little bit biased. Just a touch.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like imagine like you have this tug of war, right? If you have everyone just tugging at the front and you don't have the other people pulling in the back too, you know what I'm saying? Like the more you have pulling over on this side is just Do I agree with everything JDA says? No, but like that's what everyone says is like just because like I don't agree with every single thing, or or that I do agree with this, or I do agree with that. You know what I mean? Like that's this whole. I can dislike Peter Gilmore because he works with women. He's with women. Right?
Oh, dude, don't even go near that subject at the moment.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying though. I'm like, obviously, I
Well, I know, but there's certain other people who like to harp on about this.
Now we got to go towards that subject.
No, we haven't, because I will go into a rant and I will get kicked out of Comicsgate.
But that's what I'm saying is like people look for excuses to hate someone or dislike someone. Like with Patrick, I see now he's hidden how many his normal extravagant showing off of having hundreds of pairs of sunglasses. He has now hidden them on like his last streams.
Oh,
are they? Or are they behind you? No.
I was just.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I could be like, look at him. He has all these sunglasses, showing off his bragging. He's braggadocious. You know what I mean? People look for a reason to like dislike someone.
I do that to make other people feel lesser than me. You know what I mean? Like I can only feel better about myself if I know that other people feel like they're peasants compared to me. That's what I do. That's why I show the sunglasses off, because I mean, who doesn't envy a sunglasses collection? Right? People envy that, right? Peter? I mean, you didn't say anything when I said who, so I was like kind of wondering why. Anyway, I want to say this.
I was concentrating on not fucking it up with the shadows.
Right.
This is. I've got to scan this, and it's going into a comic. It's
I
going to a
paid
comic.
money.
Sorry?
Dude, it looks great so far. I can't wait to see what the finished product is. It looks fantastic.
Just takes.
But
so
this
long.
right here.
This is just a rough.
I paid money. Okay, you can all hate me if you want. I paid money for Liam's book, and I got it. I got it.
What book?
That's what I'm going to say. Everybody was like, "Are you going to get the book? You pay the money for the book." Dino King 2, Dino King 1.
Oh, wow, okay.
You paid the money for the book. They're like, "Is Liam going to send the book out?" Yes, he did, and I got it. So
what does it look like?
I have not read it yet. I'm going to read it later, but
what's the cover look like?
It's manga, except American manga.
Okay. Or Australian.
Australian manga.
Australian mangas. Or would it be a manga?
Yeah, I guess so.
Aussie manga.
A manga.
and it's about
Wasn't
Yeah,
he
so
the
it's,
wasn't he the bad guy in Watchmen? Ozymandias.
Liam.
Ozymandias. Sorry, it was a bad joke. Bad pun. Sorry.
Okay, that's a good looking dinosaur.
I like dinosaurs as much as the next fella, so I'm excited to see what it is.
Oh yeah.
I don't dislike manga simply because it's manga. I'm willing to look at it, but you know, there's levels of art. There's always that. People have to understand that there are hierarchies in everything in life, and in all forms of art there are levels. So in music there are certain kinds of genres that are better than others, and in visual art there are certain kind of genres like comic books versus manga that are better than others, and Western comic books are simply superior to manga. And the fact is, the reason is because they're just far more technical. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's some rare case. There are some cases, you know, if I say manga all looks the same and blah blah, then someone will wave Berserk under my face or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. I know. Some of it's good, some of it's awful.
Yeah, once you like broaden definitions to like just comics versus manga, then it's like you're comparing, you know, if you're comparing Berserk to you know, Isom 2, you know. That's not, it'd be like comics are better than manga. It'd be like that would start a holy war from Japan if that was, you know what I'm saying, like if people were to like actually try and suggest that
holy war,
Isom is better than Berserk, we are better than Berserk, you know what I'm saying, Japan would be like, you know what, whatever, no, we're coming up, it's back on. That would be the next contender.
It's on, motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. Like for everything else, that'd be
That'd be so funny if Japan came after us again. Oh my god.
Okay.
Because of comics.
Because of Eric July.
Yeah, because
Damn,
of everything.
no.
That's the best part. And they nuked us. How funny would that be? How funny would that be if they nuked us? over comics?
Wow.
All right, folks. Look here. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start to wind it down here. When Johnny Scab says wind it down, he means like we're ending it immediately. When I say we're winding down, we're actually gonna wind down. So here I'm gonna show a little song, and then after that we're gonna go over Peter's and I guess Mandy, if she did really any work on it at all, campaign. And then
Dude, don't say that.
And then my campaign, and then we'll close out. Look, I can say that because I'm a writer just like Mandy, and we did the same amount of work on our projects. So writers can insult each other. Anyway, this is a little song that I did. Sure, you know, just go super fast. You
saw me standing alone
without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, I turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Bomb, 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 ding, bomb, ding, bomb, ding, 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 blue moon, blue moon, blue moon.
Dude, those glasses. Hold on. These glasses are the greatest glasses of all time. I have used them sparingly because, first of all, I cannot see shit in these glasses. Like, and that's what I said at the end there when I was turning the song off. I was like, I can't see shit in these glasses. But like, I literally can't. Like, I would love to wear these all show long because they're the greatest shows of all time, like the greatest glasses of all time. But like, look at, I can't see anything. Anyway, all right, we're at 3:44. Good God, I said wind down. I was like, if Johnny was like wind down and we're instantly done, then I'm wind down and an hour later we're done. So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But here we are. I'm gonna share this page here. It is a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at $352. Good God. Amazing. $352, ladies and gentlemen, for Phenomenon Comic Magazine issue #1. Thank you all so much for backing. I'm going to play the trailer here, and then we're going to have a night. We're going to just go to bed after this. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. I really, really appreciate it. I love you all. Well, most of you. I can't really say I love you all, but I love most of you. And if this trailer plays, we can have a good closeout. Good night. Play. You know what? People have seen the trailer. Oh, I can do it from here. Never mind. Nice try. All right. I guess Dr. Ben's gone. Thank you, Peter, for coming on. I really appreciate it, man. You're awesome.
Don't worry, man. I won't leave you. I'm still here. I care.
No, it must have been some kind of accident on his part. But dude, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, dude. You're fucking fucking sick, dude. I love having you on the stream. And
Absolutely.
I'll
No
continue
problem.
to invite you as long as you're willing to come on. So
Oh, dude. Anytime. Anytime. I'm always available. Always.
Perfect. Well, yeah, then this will be the beginning of the. You know what? Stick around, shall we? I'm gonna end the stream. And don't leave the thing. I was gonna exit all out, but like stick around. We were just talking. There's another. That's the 5th, ladies and gentlemen. The 5th synchronicity. We didn't get to 6, which is good because 6 is the number of imperfection. So that would have been not good for us to have 6 synchronicities. 7 would have been fantastic. That's the number of perfection. But 5 is an acceptable number. And so we're going to go with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out. Thank you for backing my book if you did. If not, you should back it now. If you don't, then everybody will suspect you as like a known communist in your general region. So it's not my fault. That's like what you did. Have a great night.